All right. I think we like this mic best, is the idea. I might even turn it up a bit. Okay. No, you don't have any sound because I'm not talking. I wasn't talking. Well, I am talking now, but I wasn't. Okay, so I'm trying a whole new setup because, I like to screw things up as soon, you know, as I do this. I gotta go mute this. Oh, what did I press? I faded to black. I faded to black. Don't fade to black. I pressed all the buttons. All right. There we go. All right, see this. It's a death simulator. Ha ha! There you go. Well done. You missed the squirrel. It's okay. You'll see more squirrels. There'll be more squirrels. Trust me. Okay, so you have to keep me on track with the sound. If you have sound issues, just have to let me know because when I don't talk directly into the microphone, it's generally bad. And if I talk into the fabulous new microphone that I've got, it also sucks. Am I doing this as a cabled adventure? I guess is my question. What is the best way of doing this? All right. Well, at least this way I can shout across the hallways as I need to. Won't use this mic, but it's an option. How's that? Oh. Okay. Oh no, Lexi K is an early shift. That sucks. Sucks to be Lexi K. Sorry, Lexi. All right, I should tweet this. I should let people know we're doing this. All sorts of adventures ahead. Let me switch over to some other videos. You can see what's going on in my crazy little plans here. You'll hear lots of that as I switch between. I've got a switcher now for my USB, which allows me to. Thank you, Ugly Pig Beast. So this allows me to share my keyboard between two computers, which was driving me crazy. I had keyboards and mice all over the desk, and I couldn't figure out ever what the right one to be listening to was. So let's go to. I guess don't switch. Stick with what you got. Ugh, you're gonna make me log in on that. All right. Da-da-da-dee. All right. Before I do all of this, we'll do this. All right. How is everybody? Hello, David and Bandits. I haven't brought the Bandits in yet because I figured it would just be even more chaotic if we have everybody talking to me at the same time. How does this sound for everybody? Hello from New Zealand. Good afternoon to Krillin. 2:30 p.m. and you just woke up. Way to go, Tweety Row. Oh, the Tweety Bird for the Tweety Row. Sounds great. Okay, good. Okay, well that's at least something. So I've got the sound coming through there. I want to get Discord on there, don't I? So okay, I better do that. I will scan a QR code to allow me access. There we go. Yes, log me in. Fantastic. And then I should be able. I'm hoping to hear the bandits, if there's any bandits, here. It's an odd time for banditry, I'd have to say. All right, so I'm gonna just go in here. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna check our sound for this because we're gonna want to go. Input device is gonna be. What is the input device gonna be? That's a good question. Is it? I guess that one. And the output device is gonna be. That. It's gonna be that. I guess that's the way to go. Okay. This way I should be able, I'm going to check my mic. I'm checking my mic. I'm checking my mic. Yeah, it's picking it up. Stop testing. Automatically determine input sensitivity. Yeah, fine. Do all that stuff. Great. Just take it away, Discord. Sort it out for me. And we'll see. As soon as someone comes on, I'll know whether it's working or not. All right. And in the meantime, In the meantime, why don't I put the camera, put our evil camera over here. As I say, I'm trying this out. I'm trying a little different setup here. Because I think it might be fun to allow a little better access to what's going on with the PC stuff. Right now, of course, there's nothing happening with PC stuff because I'm too busy playing with my own PC. Just for the record, soon as it's not crazy expensive, I am getting my own stuff for the PC because luckily I got ThinkNoodle stuff cheaply before everything went crazy with people buying PC stuff before Christmas. Dstat was kind enough to give us the money for this ages ago. And of course, as always, it takes forever to get these things done. All right, I'm going to switch over to here. I have checked out Christian's Stargate project. It's freaking beautiful. It's what I'd love to set it up as our squirrel cam. I mean, I think that would just be a much better version of the squirrel cam. I was going to just do like a disco gate version, like that's what I call the Atlantis gate, the disco gate. All right, let's see what we have in the way of video here for you folks. You fine folks. What do we got? What do we got to do? This. It's really sad. I've started trying to play guitar. I feel like Jason Momoa. My God, he may be able to play now, but boy, he could not when we were doing Stargate, that's for sure. I had to listen to him and his damn electric guitar all the time. Well, now I'm trying it, which is just, embarrassing. So basically, I'm learning how to ruin all of Jane's favorite songs. Take the romance out of them all. Okay, so let's go to here and see what's going on here. That's going to be on the other screen, isn't it? So let me do that then. This is very exciting. Okay. It's just kind of neat. I mean, I've got to learn to maybe just leave things alone when they're working. But there's always a way of making it better, right? Like, why stop? You like cold, Tweety Row? Oh, God. I don't like it too hot. I don't like it too cold. I like England. A little soggy. Let's have a look at our quick time. See how that's going to play out here. A new movie recording. Why not? Pray tell. Oh, look at that. Magical. Magical that. The only problem is you can't control the camera with this. That sucks. Because one of the things you can do with OBS, well, maybe, wait a second, instead of doing that, why don't I do it through OBS then? OBS allows you to control the camera. I just don't know how it looks if I try to put it up on the screen. All right, let's say I do this. Oh, hello, me. Okay, that's me. And I can do this to look at it. It's Razor Kaio, high presets. I like that. Oh, it's not letting me change anything. Anyways, so I still don't have any camera options, it seems. Even though, okay. Don't use the presets. If I don't use the presets, I can play with things. So I can go like that. I don't know, simple FPS values. That sounds fine. 30 sounds fine to me. How does that look? Okay, you guys can't see this, but you will in a moment, and you'll be shocked and amazed. Okay, let's have a look. Can we pop this out? Windowed, projector, source. Yeah, see that. And then we can go over here. Can I move this over here? Yes, I can. And then leave this one over here. I can do that. I like this. Please feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so that means I can go to camera 2. Camera 2. And there I am. I did it. Okay, so here's what I've been playing with. This is the headset I'm trying to get to work. It's this beautiful Razer headset that's wireless. This is, as we've determined, is just crap. It's probably fine for yelling at each other and swearing at each other and making, racial slurs and homophobic comments, as the gamers seem to like to do, into a game, but it's not so good for actually broadcasting. So, also, is this a little laggy, this video? Does it seem a little laggy to you? Hard to tell on my screen here, but it's just my computer struggling to keep up. Okay. I can look at the actual stream. How I move around like that. Does it look kind of blurry to you? Yeah, a little bit, but not too bad. I'm channeling my inner Teletubby. It's total No, this is genius. Don't you mock my hat, damn you. I will not have my hat mocked. Ta-dam! Come on! If you're building a PC or trying to clean up dog poo at night, this is the way to go. I've actually stolen Baz's hat. The orange seemed like a suitably Tech Bandits color. I have a gray one, but it has headphones built in, right? So they have wireless headphones attached to the hat itself, which is kind of great. Yeah, but if you're gonna build a PC, oh, where'd that screw go? I don't know. Let's have a look. See what I'm saying? It's genius. McKay should have had one of these. Or cleaning a car, exactly. You have GameBuster has a few of them already. Bonjour France, Gilles. No more midnight toilet puddles. Wait a sec. No, I'm not agreeing to that. Forget it. I'm not agreeing to that comment. Okay, so I've got everybody up and running here. I warned the Tech Bandits that I was going to start very early so that I have time to talk to people, and then they can sort of drop in as they see fit. Yeah, Tweety Row, it's pretty great, isn't it? You know what I should do is I should see if we could like rebrand it with like Tech Bandits. Like put a little Tech Bandits logo on it, and then everyone could have like a hat like this. Oh, damn these wobbly desks. I think I'm going to need like robotic arms that are nice, solid robotic arms that I can attach that aren't going to be a problem for this kind of stuff. Okay, so I've got another camera there that I wanted to play with. Where did I put that one? Can I window two of them at the same time? Oh, that would be good. Wait a second. What if I do this? Oh, yeah. This would be cool. Okay, so I do this. See, I'll probably crash the stream, and I apologize if I do. But if I put that in there, I could possibly have two cameras. Let's have a look. As I compile all of my cameras. Here we go. Let's add another. What's the roving fan cam? Is that what it is? Let's have a look at that. What's that? Is that the roving fan cam? What is that one? Is it this one? Oh, yeah. Okay, we got it. Okay, so I got a second one. Let's go to here. Do this. Okay. How do I do? What if I do? If I go to there. Put that up like that. Yeah. That's not pretty. Okay. Let me do this. Let me window this. And then I should have two of them. Okay, look at this. Hello, little me. It's another little me right here. Hello, little me. Okay. Where am I going to put this? Let's put it like here for the time being. But I can like resize it. Oh, this is great. Okay. That's my roving fan cam. Or roving fan cam. So what I thought I would do with this is, boy, I need a longer cable. I'll move things closer. So the point being is I want to be able to get to the PC so people can see what's going on, right? That's the idea. Truly the fun part. Hey, you get right up my nose, you do. Truly the fun part of these things is figuring out how the heck we're going to film it. That's what I like. All right, so if I move this out here like this, and everyone see what I've been doing to my chair? Let's see if they can see this. They'll probably see it better in this camera. Oh, maybe not. Look. So I've been adding all the bits from the old Stargate control chair for the shuttle. Since it's sort of disintegrated with age, I pulled off some fun bits and have just been sort of wiring and putting them into the existing chair that I have, including this piece right here, which is the little piece that comes up here, and it all lights up and stuff. It's just I got to figure out what I think I'm going to need to do is like run a series of cables up here for power. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep disconnecting them and probably electrocute myself, which I know would make for fantastic viral content, but not so good for my health. Okay, so let's have a look at the chat, see how everything's going over there. Can you sort of still hear me when I'm far from the mic like this? All right. What is that? Who's talking Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill's a nerd. That's what I love about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, hey, Xenos, I like that little mini Yoda thing going there. Can hear you okay on mine? Good. Okay. So just as I move far enough further from the mic, you'll find that things get a little crunchier. I like the term crunchy. I'm just gonna use it all the time now. If I put it like there-ish, maybe that's the way to go. Because then you'll be able to hear it from there. I'm gonna need to move my robots. There's too many robots, damn you. Here, you go over here. All right, you can go over here. Seems like a good place for you over there. You can go. Oh, you're still connected to all these eyes and things, aren't you? All right, so that could go over here. This is the other fun part. The other fun part of doing the whole PC build is that you have to actually tidy the place. I had a genius plan. You'll love this. Speaking of genius plans, let's do that. So my genius plan is you take egg cartons, you glue magnets to the bottom, and then the screws, oops, go this way. And then the screws, you don't lose the screws, which is kind of neat. So I got to get some hot glue and find my magnets. So I don't think I'll do that for today's project. I think the screws are pretty big on this thing. Oh, and by the way, don't leave your crazy glue open. It never works. It never turns out well for you. Okay, so I need garbage. Where's my garbage? I have garbage somewhere in here. Oh, there's one back here, isn't there? Okay. Right. I'm back again. It's really just like spending time in the lab with me today. Okay, so the last time I tried to do this, we discovered that maybe I should move that over there. Okay, hang on. I move this window over to this side. There we go. Then I'm over here. That probably makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay, they sell magnets that have sticky backs. Oh, that's even better. But then you don't get to use the hot glue gun, and half the fun for me is the hot glue gun. I think I have a magnets box somewhere. Like a box of magnets somewhere. There you go. But I don't know that they're mainly like they're mainly the little nano dots, which are so cool to play with. I just love these things. Like I can play with these things forever. But I actually got some neodymium. What are they called? Neodymium. I can never get that right. Which are just cheaper and smaller. And I stick them all over the place. So there's probably some of them stuck to the door somewhere. It's usually where they are. I stuck them around all over the place. I don't know where they are now. The problem is if the dog eats them, we're screwed. It's probably generally a good idea to keep them out of the dog reach. Okay. So the last time I did this, Evil Villains, I'd kind of forgotten one aspect of this whole build thing, which was the memory. So, look who I got her. The little devil. She's got herself some unicorn vomit RAM, as they would put it. Noodles is going to try to join us a little later on. They're all at school right now. So I thought by starting at 2 o'clock or 2:45, as the case may be, they get to they can sort of drop in once where things are beginning to pick up. Once I'm beginning to lose the thread, which has already happened by the sound of it. So where's that camera? That camera's over there. How far can I get this camera where you could sort of see? If I were to do like something like that, that would be useful, wouldn't it? I do have that robot camera. We could try that one. What's that one connected to? Let's go see what that one's connected to. So I've got a robot camera up here, which is just connected. Where are you? I need to put power in somewhere. Where does the power go? Power without homering my belly. What do we got here? Where does the power go in on this thing? Is it up there somewhere? I may need the step ladder. Where are you plugged into, you little devil? Am I just blind? Oh, is that it? No, does it go in there? It might go in right here. Is that a hole? That is. Okay, great. Okay, so that's plugged in. That's plugged in. Okay, so what I need to do now is pop over to this computer here and bring in the joys of a little program called Easy Robot. Or Synthium. Where he's renamed it now. Because it's like this whole robot operating system thing. It's not actually a robot operating system, but it's just designed specifically for sorry, it's designed to generally run robots as opposed to specifically run the easy robots. But it's another one of these ones that you have to subscribe to, which drives me a bit crazy because, God, the number of subscriptions I have to get things done now, it's like it's gonna bankrupt me. Okay, so continue. Yes, I know all about that. That's fine. I don't need that. I do, however, need to log into a network of my choosing. Let's see what we've got going here. All right, so I gotta find our little robot on here once I turn her on. Is it? Unless I burnt it out last time. Okay, so that's on. Now I'm gonna open up my robot ceiling camera setup. And so what I can do now is rotate the camera. Well, wait a sec. So I could add another camera here. Oh, wait a second. Can I do that? Could I do that? Oh my God, that would be awesome. Hang on a second. Where's that camera going? Where's this little cable going? Okay, don't pull down the Stargate camera, David. No. That's going to there, to there, to there, and then it's coming through here. Is it already in there? It might already be in there. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's see if it works. Let me see if I can get another camera in here then. That would be cool. Because then I sort of basically do the windowing here in OBS, which is so much easier to deal with than everything else. Here we go. Here we go. So let's go to, what if we do, okay, take this one up. Let's see what they've got in here. It does not want to do that. Okay. Doesn't like that. That is not lighting up. So I'm guessing it might be because it doesn't like there being two cameras plugged in the same way here. Let me do this. Okay, so I'm gonna take it out of here and put it into here. All right, let's see if this works here. Okay. So that's got another one. It's got a whole port to itself. It really can't complain. Oh, is that it? Oh, great. Okay. I do the same thing here. I give it its own little window. Oh my God, this is gonna, you're not gonna know where to look. This is gonna be like a choose your own adventure. Look at this. Okay, then we got this. Okay, so the robot cam here, I can now control it. Can I zoom in on that at all? It'd be nice if you could see it better. If you want to see it in action, it's kind of, oh, I'll put it up. Oh, not enough cable. What if I put an extension cable on this? That would work. But in the meantime, can you see what's going on? You sort of get a sense of what's going on there. There you go. Okay. Maybe I can zoom it a bit. It's possible. Sometimes you can zoom these a little bit. Let me go back to. That one. Okay, let me see if I can zoom this at all. It might let me do it. No. Okay. Maybe I can zoom it myself. What if I just make it larger so you can sort of see it more? Like if I drag it even bigger. Woo. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Is that it? I think that might be as big as it goes. Yeah, it's as big as it goes. Okay, well, anyways, point being is, I now go over to this other computer. Over here. It makes a little noise telling me that I've done that. And then let's just see which, we see what goes where. Oh, have I actually put in, did I actually put in controls? What if I, can I move Danny? What about this? Would that work? Oh no, I have to connect to it first, don't I? Okay, right. So I go to my network, and what this does is it creates its own little Wi-Fi network. So this little guy up here has its own Wi-Fi connector. And the advantage of that is that you just log into it, connect to it, and then you just give it commands over the network. Like I'm doing here. Okay, that's connected. So if I run this script now, it does nothing. Okay, what about No, none of those work. Really? Let's stop that script. Let's go to just remotely doing it by hand. Whoa, there you go. Okay, so I can rotate it. You getting to see it on the, you sort of see it moving a little bit. It's hard to, think that's me. I want to go further up this way. So let's go like this. Okay, we've got cables in the way, of course, because that's how I roll. I love my cables. So I can sort of peruse the building like this. You have 10 seconds to comply. All right, so that's over that way. That's good. Wrist servo. What did I call that one? I like the sound of that. Does that actually do anything? Oh, I can rotate it. Oh, yeah, there you go. I can't remember what servos I added, so it's kind of like a new discovery every time. Whoa! That moved way faster than I expected it to. Man, where'd it go? Okay. Okay, so I definitely want to go more that way. All right, okay, let's do this. All right, so basically I just screwed it up. It's a better position where it was originally. Okay, and then my cam pan, there you go, there you go. I just want to go up a little bit just to get a better shot of the desk. Although if I go a little lower and then wheel this into place, what about that? If I do this, that's probably better for everybody involved, isn't it? Right? Once I get the cables out of the way. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so what cables do I have hanging in the way here? Got a whole bunch of these. Here, I'll put a little clip. It's like a hair clip for cables. All right, if I do this, and then I just clip these like that out of the way, and then just clip it to something that probably should be bending and will probably not be very happy when it finds itself trying to move again. But we're set, right? We're in a good position now. We can sort of see what's going on. For some reason, it's really struggling with the focus. Don't know why that is. And I can't seem to turn off autofocus. That'll drive everyone crazy. It'll drive me crazy. What on earth is it trying to focus so hard? Is it because of this? Is it because of the moire on this or something? No? Is it this? Oh, look at that. It does not like the white. It doesn't like this material here. Well, that's easily solved. I'll just move it. Okay, let's see if I can do this without knocking everything over. I'm going to just pull this off. There we go. We'll pop this over somewhere. Maybe down here. All right. Okay, so. I wonder if should I be waiting for the kids, do you think? Or should I just get to it? Should I just answer some questions? What do you guys think? Ooh, look at that. That's a good angle. Look at that. You see everything from there. It's like an ad. And my hairy hands. If I do this. Ooh. And you can go. Hello. I've got a light on my hat. Okay. So, yeah, we got a bit. I don't see anybody in the chat yet. Unless I've probably screwed up the sound. No, there you go. So good. So I should be okay for that. I don't need my headphones just yet. Right? Don't need to use those. And when I do, I would change it to, maybe change to those. We're close enough now that you can actually sort of see what's going on. But how cool is that? I just love the idea of having a robot camera that you can, that it's like having a cameraman. Eventually what I'd like to do is get it to the point where it's doing a lot more complex stuff. But you know, eventually. Is a day that never comes. Anything else I need? Pliers are always good. I've got my favorite screwdriver and then I went and put it somewhere else. My favorite screwdriver. Where's my yellow handled screwdriver go? I just had it. Oh, there it is. I'm so predictably bad at remembering where everything is. Okay, and then I've got a toolkit. And just for the record, if the dog shows up, we're screwed. Basically, we're completely screwed. The dog shows up. This is when she's gonna knock down every single every single, I'm going to close the door, because every single thing I have set up here will be knocked down thanks to her tale and her enthusiasm for, saying hi. Okay, so, I should put my chair somewhere else. Okay, hang on, put this over here to the side. I get to zip in here. We got time for a bit of chatting. All right, let's talk to the chat, see what's going on. Okay. Don't waste my light. 3 different settings. Okay. So, the other thing I wanted to show you. Right. Okay. So what I've done, please, don't tell Baz and don't show Baz this from a cable management standpoint. This is the nightmare that is my desk right now. Yeah, isn't that fun? So this is my Stream Deck, which I'm using. What's nice about it is when all of my computers crash, which they do all the time, the stream can keep going now. So what I've done is I found an old modem in the garbage. People just throw out their old cable modems. So I cleared it and then set it up so that I could use it for just basically to add a few ports down here, so I don't have to keep sharing the 4 ports that we have on our Ethernet ports that we have on our modem. So I've set that up, so it's got like a little bridge basically. And then I've given this little baby its own internet connection. So that is just directly in the internet, directly connected, so that if everything goes wrong, or when everything goes wrong, probably a better way of putting it, that we don't have to worry about losing the stream. So we can lose my computers, I can reboot, everything should continue streaming except for everything that I'm using on the computer. Well, there's that. Yes, we'll lose everything except sound, I think might be the way to go. But still, it's less of a disaster than if we lose the entire stream. So, but the other thing I got, let me just, it's under here, is I got way too many of these little USB dongle-y things. Because I'm using this ancient old laptop, and the problem with the ancient old laptop is that the keyboard doesn't work properly. The keys all stick. There aren't enough ports for all the Ethernet. And some of the Ethernet ports are, and the HDMI port is really, I guess it's come loose or something. So the connection is kind of a little wonky. But this little baby, I'm so thrilled about this. This is a little USB switch. And it allows me to go, oh, here's your wonderful keyboard that you love so much, but I also needed to control my Mac. And I needed to control my PC. So you put the switch on, and I can now switch back and forth. Boom. And then I'm using the Mac. Hello, Mac. And then boom, I'm using the PC. There you go. So that's the yeah. I'm kind of pleased with that setup. It's nice because just the idea of sharing a keyboard just makes so much more sense than having these 2 wretched keyboards in the way. And then I will totally spend the rest of my life figuring out cable management. But there's something kind of mad scientist fun, I find, about crazy bad cable management, even though it does drive me nuts at times. Hey, is that Wolf Pup? It is Wolf Pup, but I can't hear Wolf Pup, so I'm going to just switch over here. Wolf Pup would be coming through. Hello, Wolf Pup. Wolf Pup would be coming through camera 3, so let's get camera 3's online sound. Hello, Wolf Pup.
Hi, I can't really hear you at the moment.
Oh, I can hear. I see, of course. I can't hear Wolf Pup because I don't have the headphones going to. Interesting. All right, Wolf Pup, hang on. I'm about to solve this problem. Because that's what I am, a problem solver. Or more like a problem maker. What if I do? If I go over here and I say, hey, let me just look at my user settings, go to the audio video, and let me say, let my output device go. My input device is the Rode. Okay, that's fine. My output device is that. That's fine. But then it should be mixing it. Then I should be hearing you. Why am I not hearing you?
Oh, I just wasn't talking.
Yeah. Why am I not hearing you? Did my headphones go to sleep? It's possible my headphones went to sleep.
Okay, how do I get...
Hey, there you go. My headphones have gone to sleep. I can hear you breathing, so I know you're there.
Oh yeah, I need to put on push to talk. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's fine. The breathing's fine. It was a good indicator to me that that I had things at least slightly set up correctly. The question is, can everyone in chat hear you now? So let's just go check that. All right. In fact, what I could do is, just to be really confusing, I could change.
Jefferson joined.
Oh, Jefferson's joined us?
Yep.
Hey, Jefferson, how are you?
He just walked away. I think he's getting headphones, so I can't hear what's going on.
Oh, no worries. No worries at all. This is the
No, don't put headphones on.
This is the fate of mothers, is to be excluded by headphones.
About 1 minute left in class, 1 minute before lunch.
What I will do, though, is I'm going to mute you for a second because I can hear in the background.
I like the way the story is going.
Right?
I want to find out what interesting things you guys have come up with.
Let me just see if I can mute this for a second. I'm going to mute you for 1 second. Okay. Remind me that Jefferson is muted for the time being, just because we can hear what's going on in the background. So Jefferson, if you're talking, I won't hear you for a second. I just want to make sure that that we're getting everything. So, chat. Finally caught Rodney McKay live. Well done. Now, there is in fact a disembodied voice. Good. So you've got it. So you can hear. Wolf Pup, can you hear? I'm going to try unmuting now and see how that works.
Hear you. Do you
Jefferson?
hear me?
Is that you, Jefferson?
No, that's Alan.
Oh, Alan. How are you, Alan?
Hey.
Isn't this fun chaos again?
I don't know. I'm just now joining.
That's fine. No, it's the same thing for most people. So I want to just unmute. We've got a new bandit here that I'm going to unmute. Oh no, he's muted himself. Okay, never mind. Okay. So I haven't started the build yet, but I do have multiple cameras and wireless headphones. Sort of.
I'm
working.
currently building 2 PCs in my dining room.
You're currently building 2 in your dining room?
Yeah, for work.
Oh, for work or for more? Not for more Bitcoin mining or anything?
No, work.
I checked. Get this. I checked my Bitcoin. Remember I told you about that $20 I had?
Oh, it's worth more than that.
Yeah. I checked it today. Okay, so this is this Rise wallet thing that my friend gave me just to try stuff. What the hell?
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, it was like I think it was like Baz said it was like a $15 or maybe a 20, maybe 20. I think it was $15 gift card. And the idea was that he was enticing people into his business. I shouldn't say he, they, I don't know who they are. So they were enticing people to use this Bitcoin wallet that they created. And so you get the equivalent of $20 worth of $15, $20 worth of Bitcoin. And that was last summer. Okay. That $20 is now worth $120. How crazy is that?
Imagine if you'd put $20 in, 8 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's the crazy thing is I remember hearing about this stuff ages ago and thinking like, oh, that'd be neat. I should try that out sometime. I should do some Bitcoin mining. But it was like, yeah, and of course I never got around to it. But you did. But did you get into it later or earlier?
Later. 3 years ago.
Later. Yeah. It's like the stock market on a very compressed scale. Yeah, it's called gambling, Dead Pixel. That's what the stock market is on a very compressed time scale.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Well, that's if you're trading Bitcoin. Like that's a different thing.
Yeah, I mean playing the markets in general is a bit like gambling.
Yeah.
Wolf Pup, you got any stock tips for us?
And don't get me wrong though, if you do Bitcoin mining, you are in a small part kind of playing the market because you have to decide, if you're trying to sell off the coin that you're making, you have to decide when to do it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the only things I invest in now, and by the way, this is not investment advice for anybody. I'm an actor. Don't never take financial advice from an actor. I'll just say that right now. Anything I invest in, I assume I'm going to keep it for at least 5 years.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah. If I don't feel comfortable with something, if I feel like, oh my God, I don't know when I'm going to have to sell it, then I don't buy it. But if it's 5 years, I go, okay, yeah, if I can hold on to this 5 years and not worry about it, then that's fine. And again, I lose money, I make money, who knows, Feliz Año Nuevo, Senior Hewlett. I'm guessing that is a Happy New Year in Spanish. I wish I spoke Spanish. God, okay. Hello, 66 Becks. Hello, Modified. Did anyone see Sigil Surge? What's that?
Coin.
Oh, is it another coin? Another coin and another day that Elon Musk is manipulating the markets?
Oh, he mentioned Dogecoin the other day.
I mean,
Dogecoin is a joke.
Dogecoin is literally a joke. It's a doggy coin, right? Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah. It's literally a joke.
I
Like
think
it was done as a joke.
That's Wolfpup is a Doge fan. Jefferson, are you trying to talk to us? Because you're muted, just so you know. Jefferson's muted, and I'm not hearing the Wolfpup either, for that matter.
Oh, no, I'm just listening.
Oh, very good. Well, welcome, by the way. Jefferson is our
Thank
newest bandit. He's checking us out, seeing if it's worth hanging out. Yeah, by all means, feel free to just hang back or jump in when you want to, whatever. It's pretty laid back here. In fact, we're supposed to be building a PC, and instead we're talking about Bitcoin. So, that's basically how we roll.
If you build it faster, you could start mining Bitcoin. Well,
with
other coins.
like Ethereum or something, right? What's the best thing to mine right now, would you say? Thank you,
With
Starbuck.
graphics cards, Ethereum. That's hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
But is Ethereum seeing the same kind of jump as Bitcoin, though?
It's proportional. Less, but still proportional. Like it lags behind. Bitcoin goes up, and you wait a few days. Ethereum goes up.
Oh, I see. So there's a bit of a lag too. So basically, it's just following the Bitcoin.
They all kind of follow it to some extent.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking to Alan the other day, just so everyone knows. I was talking to Alan the other day about. I've for a while now. I thought it'd be really fun to have like a TechBandits Bitcoin of some sort, like a TechBandits cryptocurrency that we could use. I just thought it'd be kind of neat, from just learning about cryptocurrencies, and also like, what if it actually worked? Like, what if you could use it to what if I could use it to pay my son to do his homework or chores or stuff, and that actually began to have some value to it, and then anyone who got involved early on could reap the benefits later on. I was thinking it'd be like a fun fundraising approach, but Alan's trying to put me off it because he says it's really complicated. Is it as complicated as my cable management, Alan?
I was, yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Is it more complicated than this?
You could. That's not bad.
My son is like physically ill looking at my cable management.
I mean, it's cleaner than my desk.
Yeah, but you have an excuse. You're building it on your kitchen table.
Well, no, but I was saying your effort might be better spent just like learning how the cryptocurrency stuff works in general.
Right.
Because you would have to do that anyway to some extent, just to understand what you were doing to try to like make your own coin, right? So you could probably just focus more on the educational part of it, and then you get better understanding of how all that stuff works.
Right. The thing I find with the bandit stuff though is like, is there a way to make it like yes, you can learn about Bitcoin, but if you can see the excitement of Bitcoin, I was actually going to take some of the TechBandits money, a little bit of TechBandits money, and invest it in Bitcoin, and then I would keep a little track of it so that bandits could see where it's at,
yeah,
like what it's worth type thing, and then they could tell me when to pull out and stuff, which could be fun. Yes, Starbuck Tech. You sent the pictures the other day of your setup? It was pretty complicated. Cable management. I don't recognize these words together exactly. Modifried. All right. Well, I guess I think, Alan, with your blessing, Lord Chunky is going to be joining us later. He's got lots of learning to do, and I think Noodles will join us later too. But I thought I might as well just start, because otherwise we're just never going to get this thing built. I'm thinking doing the build on the I'll do the build on the motherboard box. Does that make sense?
Yeah, build it on the motherboard box.
Yeah, that's what I figure. Build it on the motherboard box. The question is then, do we then put it into the case and then pull it all apart and give it to Noodles? Or do we build it, make sure it's all working, and then give her all the parts and make her put it in the box?
Well, if your intention was, are you shipping it, or how close is Noodles?
I will put it in a large cart and wheel it over. Or you know what? Screw that. I'm the old guy. She can come get it.
No, okay.
She's
okay.
young.
So there are some parts that it's a pain in the butt to pull back apart. Like you wouldn't want to like completely remove the CPU and once you put the CPU and the heatsink on, you're better off just leaving those.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and she can review the video if she wants to see how that was done.
Right, and that's stuff that to pull the heatsink back off, you got to make sure you have more heatsink compound and replace it. And there's probably pre-installed heatsink compound.
Oh, is there?
On the equipment that you have there now.
The AMD that I have. Oh, let me just move my little lazy Susan around here. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is a man begging for sponsorship right here.
Because that CPU came with heatsink, right?
It can't. Yes, I thought I'd get. I'll tell you why I got it. Purely because it's called a Wraith thermal.
The Wraith cooler. Yeah.
I couldn't resist it.
Yeah.
It's a freaking Wraith. It's an
true.
AMD with a Wraith on top. So I'm assuming it will come either with thermal paste.
It probably has it. It's been a while since I installed one of those coolers. But yeah, they usually just have like it's sort of pre-preg on the bottom of the heatsink, and you just basically just stick it on. You don't have to worry about. You could go rounds and rounds with internet debate over what's the proper way to install.
So I was going to ask that because I've seen people get like, it's a serious thing. People get really angry. It's like a religious debate. It's like is this the
what's so funny
city?
is that I do it so often for my work. Like I'm constantly pulling CPUs and putting them back on, and it literally is just like, yeah, just draw an X, whatever. Here, just stick it on.
For those of you who don't know, Alan is currently at Intel making their life miseries by finding all of the good and bad of their SSDs, basically.
I try to make our SSDs good.
Is that fair enough?
I make sure our stuff is good. Yes.
Yeah.
I do my best.
But and it's actually, I gotta say, I'm quite pleased with Intel for doing that, for seeing the point of that, as opposed to just going like, okay, we'll throw it out there, see how people respond to it, and then we'll fix the problems as they come up. This way they could basically get a head start and at least get the initial problems out of the way. I feel like that's what, I wish more companies did that. I guess it's cheaper for them to just put out the stuff, and if it doesn't work, they go, oh yeah, we'll replace it. But they forget that all around that is like the builds and the kids waiting for GPUs to show up and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I see the chat mentioning, is it QC? No, I couldn't even hold a candle to the amount of people and hardware that's thrown at QC.
Really?
Yeah, I just do performance testing.
Right. So, but quality control, what's the deal on that then? What are they're doing? Like they're like totally in the weeds. But you're pretty. I wrote a
whole article on PC Per years back on like how all that stuff works, because I went and toured them at the time, and they have literally just like cabinets and cabinets full of like, you know, hundreds of SSDs in each cabinet, and they're cabinets because they're temperature controlled. They'll run them like really cold, they'll run them really hot, right? They'll throw all these different kinds of activity at them, and just to make sure that they're not failing. It's pretty involved. Yeah, you need like factory buildings worth of equipment to do like proper, QC of any, not just an SSD, but pretty much any computer hardware.
So you're not, you're not building Arctic tundras in order to try the SSDs out in minus whatever temperatures and things.
I will tell you, there's kind of a Stargate overlap. We actually
there's always a Stargate overlap.
We hit some parts with an accelerator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to intentionally hit them with ions to see, okay, what happens? Did it flip a bit? If it did flip a bit, somewhere in like an SSD controller or something, like what happens? Wow. Did it fail correctly? Did it recognize that there was an issue, or did it just give you bad information? Wow, how do you expense that? One particle accelerator. I don't think they own it. I think they lease it out. I actually wrote about that in an article for PC Perspective. Like I did a whole, I forget what the article was. Do we have a link for PC? I should put a link in for PC Perspective. And by the time I finish saying it, I'm sure Cal will already have jumped in and done that. But I got to switch I'm sharing my keyboard. I keep forgetting to switch the button. And if anyone's got anything they want to add, by obviously jump in. Alan and I are just chatting. So I'm slow today. Oh yeah, I found the article. Oh man, that takes me back.
Were you just about to put in a password and then you realized, oh wait, I have it showing my... Oh no, I wasn't actually. You know what I've got, did you see that, like, I'll show you this. So I've got this little USB, can you see that? Where did they go? I've got this little USB switcher, and the idea is that, see, beautiful cable management. So basically I have one keyboard that I use that will control both the Mac, which is behind there, that piece of trash, and this piece of trash. So in other words, I could share one keyboard with with 2 computers. So I have to, but I keep doing it. I go to this computer. I go like, why is the mouse not? All right, I got to press the button. So I got to switch it every time. Dave, your mouse is in the middle of your screen and it's driving me crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Gopher Boy. Am I
Mouse
making your
OCD.
life difficult? All right, what was the point of this? All right, PC perspectives. Right, let me go look this up. Let me go grab this.
I'm fine. I found the article. I'm just trying to jump on Discord to send you the link.
Oh yeah, pop it in Discord. Then I can copy.
It's just like cabinets and cabinets full of like just chock full of SSD after SSD.
It's like seeing
Crazy.
the Prusa center where
Yeah,
they've got the
it's
Prusa
similar.
printers printing the Prusa printers. It's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
They don't just have a bunch of rows of printers printing their printers, but then they have rows of them to do testing, like QC,
Yeah.
right? It's the same principle, just a different thing that they're testing.
There's something about it. I guess it's a nerd thing. It just multiple, like 1 robot's fun. 100 robots is better. You know what I mean? Like there's something about the quantity over quality in many cases. I'll tell you that Prusa is freaking wonderful, though. I gotta say, I love.
I really want to get one myself. I've been putting it off.
I mean, I love.
I have a Anycubic Photon.
What's that?
That is a resin printer.
Oh, nice. Well, then maybe you're like, I mean, the resin is. It's always the grass. It's what is my Jane call it? The grass or greeneritis, where it's I basically now that I've got the what is it? Fused FD something M.
DM.
Now I want the resin one as well. But
I will say this: it stinks to high heaven.
yeah. See, that was it. I don't want.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of slightly susceptible to that because I'm a hypochondriac and a wimp. So I definitely noticed that stuff. All right. Did you get the link?
Here's the link.
Great.
I put it in the TechBandits live
I
chat.
got it. I got it now. Here I go. I'm faster than Cal. Here we go. Faster than a speeding cow. I'm going to put this in the...
I knew what I was Googling for because I wrote the article.
All right. Oh, that's true. All right. All right. Paste that in there. There
6
you go.
years ago.
Okay, so that's what Alan's talking about. Jotun Mike, New Year's going well, thank you. I mean, 2021, it's starting off with a bang, isn't it? I mean, we knew it was going to be bad. It's just we got a bit more of 2020 to sort of. I don't think we'd even blame 2020 for it anymore. I think we're definitely in the 2021s now, and I think we got some stuff to deal with. So people still got to be safe and smart and selfless. All right, let's crack this baby open, see what's going on. Okay,
Yeah, open some boxes.
What was that?
Open some boxes.
Open some boxes. I know. Okay, and you're saying don't worry about killing it. What if I stand here? Is that better? Where's a good place?
I mean,
sort of between.
use common sense. Don't go dragging your feet across the carpet while you're.
You mean like I'm doing right now?
I mean. Yeah, it won't be. You'll be
I've also got a
fine.
metal case. This is metal. But
Yeah,
it won't be
if that's a metal table, just make sure everything's sitting on the metal table. Although the box is going to be insulating it from the metal table, but just make sure you're have your hand on the edge of the motherboard occasionally. Make sure you're not building up a bunch of static charge on yourself.
Also, is I can
when you grab the CPU, only hold it from the edges. Don't grab it by the pins or anything crazy.
All right, you'll have to remind me of all these things as I go along. Okay, so first up, we've got this is our motherboard. It's kind of a nice looking beast. I mean, I don't know much. Kind of a sexy looking beast, I'd say. All right, can we all see this from above? You got a nice shot from above there? Oh, sort of. It's very far away though, isn't it? Do you want me to set up another camera that looks down better? How are you people finding it? Will you be able to see stuff? Yes, don't stroke the dog and then touch the components. You're right. I've actually closed the door to stop the dog from getting anywhere near me. Doesn't matter if it's metal. You can't kill new stuff with static. Oh, I can try, Jotun. I can try. All right, so here we go. Here we go.
It is possible. You'd have to just hit just the wrong pin with just the right amount of charge.
Is that why they have all these capacitors on it? Is it just purely to protect the equipment?
No, capacitors is just to keep voltage stable.
But I thought I added a capacitor to my NeoPixels the other day, and the idea was to stop it from getting a sudden surge of electricity.
Yeah, that's called keeping voltage stable.
Ha. I see. Okay, that'll do it.
Capacitors oppose a change in voltage.
Right, but then that would be useful for a static charge then.
It would be, but that's not what they're there for.
Okay, all right.
There are plenty of signal lines running around on that board that are meant to carry data, and those signal lines go out of the way to not have any capacitance on them because you want the signal to, go across as fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
So if you zap one of those, you could potentially, fry whatever the chip was that's supposed to pay attention to that signal.
Anything I need to worry about doing this? I'm just gonna. The old days,
No,
I
you're
would be
just
terrified.
taking it out. Yeah, you're done. You're good.
Here we go. Oh God, they're still. I gotta say, I still find them so pretty. You know what I mean? Like I just
Especially when they're new and shiny.
yeah, they're just gorgeous until the dog hair starts settling on them and the human dandruff. It's it's just. I mean, they're like cities of the future. Okay, so I'm taking this. I've got some little screws here. I wonder what they're for. One little screw. That'll be useful. Okay. Let's see what else I've got. Anything else I need from in here? Looking in the box. Oh, there we go. Yes, can't forget our USB covers. I'm guessing those are probably for the hard drive. Is that right? Are those the SATA cables, or whatever they're called?
What are you talking about?
I'm assuming these are just. Oops. Are those the hard
SATA
drive?
cables?
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah, they look like SATA cables. You're not going to be using those.
What? Oh, right, because what? Yeah, that's right. It's the M1. It's all on the board, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
There's going to be a little baggie in there that has a very small screw and a very small nut.
Really? I see the small
Probably.
screw. I wasn't looking for the nut. Let's see. I see a small screw. I don't see a nut. But you know what? I've got an entire...
The nut might already be on the motherboard.
I got a giant box of random screws, so I...
No, trust me, you will not have the right screw.
Oh, really? It's one of those?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter how many screws you've got. You never have the right one, to be fair.
Especially in this case.
Okay.
Trust me.
All right, so I'm doing
You
this.
could have a bag full of computer screws. You probably don't have an M.2 SSD
really?
screw.
It's that? I'm kidding. It's that?
It's really tiny.
Okay, so that is going on the box. Okay. We didn't check to make sure I had everything again this time, but I think we decided it was just memory that I was needing, right?
Yeah, I think the memory was the only thing you were short.
Oh, look, SATA cables. Don't need them. Okay, got it.
Yeah, don't need them.
There we go. I'll go pick them up later.
Oh boy.
And carefully label them.
I mean,
What's that?
I mean, the soon-to-be owner of the system might want to attach a SATA drive.
If you don't tell her, she doesn't know.
For extra. No, not from you, but
okay,
later on.
fine,
Like
I'll pick it back up again. Here we go.
they might want to install a bigger, a big hard drive
At some
to
point, you might want to put a hard drive.
hold their hundreds of games.
All right. Look, if this is gonna be one of those responsible builds. Okay.
I mean,
All right.
that's
so
what I'm here for, David.
Put stuff in a place that I'm not gonna forget it and lose it.
I'm that little white devil on your shoulder, as opposed to the red devil that's on the other shoulder that
That's
wants you
right.
to just
To
toss
destroy
everything.
everything. Let it
Yes.
burn. Okay, so for those of us who can see, we'll see. So we've got. So this used to be the bane of my existence. This part here, where you used to be so fiddly trying to get the CPUs into place. But I hear it's much better now, and it certainly was on Baz's thing.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you rotate it correctly. But yeah.
Where does the SSD? Where does the little SSD go?
What?
I'm just wondering where the Where does the little SD thing fit? Is it going in here somewhere?
The SSD?
The SSD, yeah. Is
You
it
see
going
that
in here
row
somewhere?
of circles right around where your pinky is?
Well, then around here.
No. Well, to your left,
To my left.
right next to the battery.
Okay. Oh, that's where it goes?
There's a slot. Granted, I'm looking
I
at it
think it's
over
there.
Twitch video.
See if that's.
You're pointing like an inch away from it, but
that
yes.
it?
Yeah, that's the connector for it. And then if you go 3
Oh, so
metal.
this heatsink is probably for that then. Is that?
No, that's for the chipset.
Oh, is it? Well,
It's
then
a different part of the
What's going
motherboard.
to cool our?
So
you don't have to cool the.
So that
endpoints?
port is where the SSD is going to connect to, and then there is there should be 3 or 4 circles like moving away from it. One of them is going to have a nut screwed into it, probably the third one.
Oh, there you go. Right there.
You found it?
Yep.
Okay, so the nut's already there. Does it have a screw in it?
It has like a. It is a screw. The nut is a screw. No, the screw's there. I've got the screw. Yeah.
The screw is screwed into the nut. Okay, then you're good.
Yeah. Good. Right. I can't think I don't think I've ever had to change a lithium battery on a motherboard. Have you?
Normally you would never have to, because if whenever the system is plugged in, it's not actually using the battery for
Yeah.
anything.
I can't think of a time other than you know what, there was once an 80 something that I used that you had to replace the battery on, but I think it was just because it was draining somewhere.
Yeah, if you leave a computer like completely unplugged for like a couple of years,
or 10.
It'll kill the battery.
Right. Okay. So, next step. What do we think? Go for the CPU first?
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Da 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 da. Complete with Wraith. What do we end up going with? We went with the. Which one was it? Which one did we end up going
R5
with?
something.
It's the 53600, 6 core, 12 thread. Oh my God, Think Noodles, you're gonna freaking love this. Okay, the irony of this that I find so amusing is that we'll build this. I'm hoping that I'll make the mistakes for her, so that when she comes to build it, she can build it much faster and much more efficiently than I have.
Sure,
but
it's
in
already
this
going to have
case,
the CPU on, so
once we got the CPU, I don't think we're gonna want to take that off again. Oh, okay, we can do that. Where's my action knife? Okay, here we go. I keep having to remind myself that I'm actually on wireless headphones now, because I keep panicking that I'm about to pull things off the desk. This is the most disgusting knife. It has more hot glue on it than the knife at this
is that like
point.
the only wireless thing in your office based on the other cables you have?
Oh my God. Well, first off, I hate wireless because it never freaking works. It's just never reliable enough. Or I don't trust it enough. How's that?
Oh no, that headset sounds pretty good for a wireless headset.
Well, this sounds fine. The problem is the mic that's attached to it that came with it that I bought it for is pretty lousy.
Oh, you're just using the room mic.
Oh, I'm just using the room. Yeah. There we go.
I got you.
Okay, that's a much better knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Ooh, there it is. There's our baby. Look at that. Again, this is something else that whenever I take apart old computers and for Tech Bandits or whatever, I tend to, even if they're really old, I'll keep the CPU just because I think they're gorgeous. I mean, just as a sheer beauty of manufacturing, I just think they're absolutely stunning. Okay, so here we go. It has a Ryzen 5 sticker. Installation instructions. Do we care? Am I going to go? Usually I like my instructions, but I don't have to. If you
I mean, you can. There's probably not much to them.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's unfolding a lot. It's probably talking about the cooler and stuff.
Yes, it probably is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got some so aligning pins.
Yes, that's the part you want to pay attention to.
Right. Yeah, you kind of don't want to get that wrong, do we? Okay, align pin 0 indicators. That is the worst instructions I have. Okay, here you go.
But the corners is going to be unique.
Yeah, it's basically one of them's got a dot on it, but you'd think that they would show you the dot then. But no,
Well,
why would they do that?
It'll make more sense when you're holding the CPU in your hand and
Yes.
looking at the slot
Okay, I'm looking at it right
or
now.
looking at the socket. Anyway, there's a handle on the side of that socket you got to pull up.
Oh yeah, it's got the little flicky thing, doesn't it? Okay, so to 1, 2. Prior to installation, ensure pin 0 indicators, the small arrows on the socket and processor are correctly aligned. The small arrows. Ah. What the hell was that?
Me.
That was the weirdest noise. What was that?
Almost sounded like a submarine ping.
It did. I was gonna say, I thought maybe you were like you're doing like some kind of callback to the old
Nope.
computer days.
Sorry.
Oh, is that you, Jefferson?
Yeah, that was a notification on my annoying computer.
The notifications always get me. All right, I see a little tiny. Wait a sec. You know what? I'll see it better if I turn on my Headlamp.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Oh, look, lucky I had that, right? Except my head goes the wrong way for... Okay. How do you look through a pair of glasses and shine the light out at the same time? There you go. Okay, there we go. Do that. Okay, I see... I think there's a little arrow there, but it's hard to say. But there's also a dot, so I'm assuming that's it. But is there a... What's on this
You'll
one?
also notice that the holes for the pins
Mm.
in that socket do something unique in the corners.
Yes. We have a square corner where there are no other square corners.
Right.
Got it.
That's what you want to line up.
That's it. Got it. I see it. It's going on like that by the looks of it. Okay. So, aligning the pins. How am I doing? Phillips screwdriver required for installation. Really? Okay.
Put a heatsink.
I guess so.
You're not there yet.
Oh, they want me to put these on, but they're already there. So, I think we're fine for that.
You can, I mean, even if you got to put different ones on for the cooler, you can switch them afterwards, after the CPU's on.
Oh, you're saying they might be...
That's
All
fine.
right, okay. Oh, right, of course. It might be different ones for the cooler. Shall I open the rest of it? Let's have a look, see what they got in there. Okay. Yeah, let's do the unboxing, Alan. That's half the fun, isn't it? Here we go. We're unleashing the Wraith. Prepare yourselves.
Great.
It's a magic box. It's like that escape room movie. You got to figure out how to get in it. And then, oh, there you go. Here we go. Now, I got this purely because it said Wraith on it. There are probably better coolers out there. Ooh, look at that.
No, that's a
Ooh.
decent cooler. As
Look
far
at
as
this.
coolers that come with CPUs go, that's a decent one.
Look at that. It's like, it's a total Iron Man thing. Look at that.
Hey, wait a
that
minute.
Paste on it? I think that's
Is
paste
that
on
pure copper with no paste? I can't see from the camera.
it. It's hard to see, isn't it? Let me see if I give you another view at it. Here
Are
you
there
go.
little dots?
Have a look at this.
The
Very small
hat
dot?
thing is cool in my opinion. The
Oh,
little
good. Good. It's not
thing
just
on
me.
the top.
You make any sense of that, Alan? It looks like
Looks like a-
it's got paste, a layer of paste on it.
Yeah, it's like silk screened.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, you
That's
could like,
the term.
at the very corner, you could like just kind of rub your finger on it and see if it's, paste. You're not gonna like totally mess it up or anything.
I don't want to touch it. I don't know. I'll see what I'll do. I'll use a little bit of the knife.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could just use your finger. Just make sure you got a paper towel to wipe it off.
Is it paste?
Whatever.
Oh yeah, that's paste. Absolutely. It's like
Okay.
cement.
Yeah.
I put my mark on the cement now. I should like scratch my name in it.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely paste. But look at that. I mean, talk about debate about how to apply paste.
Well, that's a machine applied,
Oh.
silk screen kind of.
Yeah, and just with one little
Yeah, like
fingerprint in
that's-
the corner.
Yeah.
There you go. Think Noodles will not be happy knowing that there's
It's a notch out of my paste.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. A little bit of human grease, which is actually you are trying to avoid, aren't you? Okay, so that's the cooler. It looks to me, is that going to fit? Is there more to it? Is that it? That seems to be it.
If there's no brackets or anything in the box, it should just latch on to what's already on the motherboard there.
It should, and boxes. Save the boxes.
That socket type is pretty standard about that. Yeah.
All right. So the next thing I do is, am I supposed to already put the thing on?
Yes.
Let me take a plate for you because I'm so
Okay, so if I do this, and then pop that on top. Oh, okay, all right, cool.
You did lift the latch for the CPU, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I totally did, Alan.
Okay,
Why wouldn't
good.
I do that? That would be, what kind of an idiot wouldn't?
Just making sure
Yeah.
it doesn't go in very easily unless you lift the latch.
Can you imagine? I didn't just break one pin. I broke all the pins.
All the pins.
Okay. All right. I'm opening this up. I got to admit that this is the part that makes me nervous the most.
Just hold it from the edges. You'll be fine.
Holding it from the edges.
You're getting a new account?
It's even got little finger points where to grab it. God, this is so much easier than it used to be. Okay, so the arrow is pointing over there. So why would they not put that? Okay, arrow there. Okay, so just so people can see what's going on. So there's a little tiny, if you can see the difference.
If it's lined up right, it'll basically just fall in.
Yeah. So that's the little arrow. And then for those of us working on the actual motherboard itself, you could see there's also one right over here that's been marked specifically. So I'm going to just As we say, I'm going to try dropping it in place. Why is it pointing that way, though? Isn't that weird? Okay. Oh, it just fell beautifully into place.
Yep.
Beautifully. Okay. I love having the roving camera. It's so great. Okay, so it's fallen into place. Now what do? I'm going to pull that back
light
down.
pressure on it so it doesn't lift up as you're latching it in.
Putting a little bit of pressure on it as I latch it down.
Yeah, just kind of like put your finger on it, just
God, I
stop
hate
it from
that.
floating up.
I don't like that
There you
pressure
go.
thing. Done.
So easy.
Now I turn it on. Okay.
No.
Not quite. All right.
I mean, it would not. Well, no, it wouldn't work because you're missing several other components.
If I go this way, no, go this way a little bit.
I mean, it might work without the heatsink for a while.
Well, they run fairly cool, don't they? Isn't that they?
They don't run that cool.
But they
Needs a
run, don't they
heatsink.
run cooler than the Intels though?
It depends on which ones you're comparing.
Like I thought well, you know what? It's also probably just the older generations ran hotter too, didn't they? Okay, it doesn't matter which way this goes on as long as it sits properly on the thing, right?
There should be some sort of latches on the edges of it that are going to engage with the ones on the board there.
So I do have to remove those screws. Okay, all right. So people can see what's going on. So what we've got here.
There should be directions for that there, David.
What was that?
There should be directions for that in that directions that you got there.
Very small writing. Yeah, there's these two things here. That's why they say I need a Phillips screwdriver, which I have right here. Yes, they actually said I have to remove this, and that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. So now I see what you got going there. Yeah, the Wraith Core basically has its own bracket like built in.
Man, that is.
And you're removing the pre-installed heatsink bracket.
I see.
Because
okay.
that Wraith, the Wraith doesn't need anything else getting in its way.
Yes, it wants to latch directly to its victim.
Yes, it needs to latch directly and suck the life from
the
the motherboard. Yes.
Oh, what was that?
Somebody.
Hey, is that a James Gurney? I see a James Gurney, but he's muted. James is like the nuclear sub guy comparison in biotech or in viruses. Al.
Wait.
Is
Hey,
he gone? Did he bail again?
When I jumped off the other day, were you asking something about like guns on the sub?
Guns on the sub. Oh, I know. That's right. I was saying that. What do you do if there's someone on a sub? So you're on a sub. You're saying the missions could last quite a while. What if someone just loses it? Like, what if people can't take it, or are they just not? They wouldn't have got that far in the Navy if they couldn't. You're talking about people shooting themselves in the foot to get out of things, and I was saying that surely the sub would be like the worst. If you suddenly found yourself questioning your life choices, the sub would be a bad place for that. Oop, lost a screw.
We actually run practice drills for that exact scenario where some guy just,
We're skipping film class to do this because you didn't get film classes in Florida.
Usually they make up some scenario like, somebody just really wants a cheeseburger from McDonald's or something. And so they, hold one of the officers hostage
really?
somewhere on the
that's
sub or something.
Give me a cheeseburger. Give me a Big Mac.
Yeah, basically they'll do something like that. It's usually half the crew's kind of laughing. Right. Because they'll jump on the announcing circuit like submarine wide because they're being hostile and everything, and I want a cheeseburger right now. Anyway. Do
they pick the best actors for these things? Is that generally how it works?
Usually, yeah. They'll pick one of the engineering guys, and it's usually really comical because we tend to have a crazy sense of humor.
You kind of have to.
Anyway,
you're living on the sub all the time.
So we'll pretend that they had an actual weapon and we're trying to do stuff, but then the people will actually go to the weapons lockers and go and get the guns and secure the area and do all the stuff they have to do because it's, there are guns.
They need to know what to do so that it's an automatic response when something really happens.
Yeah. And they're all like behind lock and key or, the only people that normally have them are like the watchstanders. I mean, literally, just like what you saw on Stargate, right? You saw some armed guard kind of person, like they had a sidearm, like same kind of thing, right? The guy,
like those guys in charge of the other day. Did you see
the guy in charge of security in the missile compartment that's supposed to make sure that the missile tubes are secure and nobody's tampering with them, right? Like he's got a gun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, did you see those guys at the Senate the other day? Where they're all
Yeah.
of a sudden, all the guns are out. They got the place barricaded. I was like, wow, those are some seriously brave dudes who are going to stand in front of. They don't even know how big the mob is. They don't know what's going on, right? Crazy. Okay, I'm putting this on. Cable management, because it's always my first priority, Alan.
You want to look for the CPU fan
Right there.
pin header.
It's right there. So I'm wondering, should I be as close to it as possible, or do you want a bit of distance so the cable?
However you want to rotate that so that I usually do it so that the cable is kind of like somewhat wrapping around the heatsink a little, or the
So you got
heatsink a little bit, so you don't just have a big loop just kind of
Nice.
hanging out there,
Done.
right?
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, except that. I don't
If
have
it
that
doesn't
choice.
reach, then you got to go the other
I
way.
don't have that choice. Okay, I see. So because of where the things are, I think I'm going to be this way or this way. Or maybe this way if I go like that. Then it goes like that. But then it's looping in front of everything. I don't know. I feel like maybe I like...
Just to
this
double
way.
check, it does just say CPU fan on that header, right? Because there are multiple CPU
Yes, it says
cooling
CPU
headers
fan.
on.
Specifically CPU fan. This is a lesson I learned from before. Was I didn't wear my glasses for a lot of the build, and
Oh yeah.
because I hadn't got them yet, of the original build, like the build we did for Baz, and there were a number of them that I was like, huh, look at that, it has 3 pins, and I'm looking for 4. So definitely, yeah, wear your glasses is my point. Okay, I'm lowering this down into place. Oh, am I? Let me just double check, make sure there's anything I like to do. Okay, so I'm doing this. Align the 0, 1 indicators. Prior to installation, ensure that the pin 0, the small arrows on the socket are correctly aligned. They are. Then I'm going to put this baby down and then just screw it in. Okay, great. That's it. That was all those pictures were told me. All right. I don't want to mess up the paste. There's 1, 2. Oh, look at God! It's so much easier now, Alan.
That it's not deep inside the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how freaking hard it was just in general. I mean, this used to be terrifying. All right, come on, you screw it in. There we go. And I don't know whether this is the way you're supposed to do it, but I like to do a little bit on each one as opposed to doing them all.
Yes. Do the well. You can go around. I usually like diagonal it first.
Yeah, that's what I do. I like that diagonal thing. All right. Why is that jumping around? Okay. Jumping around. Always what you want to hear when someone's trying to build a CPU. Install a CPU. What the hell? Okay, if I put that down too far again already?
Well, you don't want to crank down on 2 on the same side before you go diagonal.
Yeah. No, this is... So I've done 1 there, and then I'm trying to do the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
one. I guess I've...
Yeah.
Even that's...
You should be good.
Even that's giving me pressure.
Well, they're spring-loaded screws, so you might have to like put downward force just to get them to even thread in.
Yeah, they're making a horrible grunching noise, which I hate.
That's just the spring.
I know that, but it just sounds horrible. All right, and the question is how tight? Is this like a hand tight thing, or is this a... What do you think?
They should just stop.
Oh, really?
Like they should noticeably stop turning, and you don't need to tighten any further past then.
Okay, yeah, that sort of stopped. Okay.
Yeah.
I like... God, they really do make it actor-proof, don't they? No wonder Henry
Yeah, that's what
Cavill can do this.
So that's what the springs are for. Like you tighten it till the screw hits the stop, but the spring is what's keeping the heatsink force on the CPU at a reasonable amount.
Waiting. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, there you go. Okay. Great. Does that look even? Let's have a look. Oh, God, it looks magnificent. That looks pretty great. Looks pretty good. Pretty even.
Yeah, looks good here.
Yeah, okay, great. And then I'm plugging this little baby into the CPU fan. Again, it's actor-proof because you just don't have much of a choice. You can only put it in this way.
I don't know. There's plenty of other fan headers on that motherboard you could plug that into.
That you'd be allowed to?
That they would go.
But do they say CPU fan? I don't like forcing it.
Well, they don't. So, which is why you should definitely plug it into that one.
Indeed. All right. Okay, let's have a look. All right, don't like... There we go. Like I always say with the PC stuff, if you got to force it, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so what's next? We've done that.
RAM.
Oh god, this is so exciting. I almost don't want to take it apart again. But the whole point of this is that Think Noodles has got to learn how to build PCs. Otherwise, my mission has failed. Okay, and by the way, Dstat, thank you very much for these parts. Dstat actually paid for all of these parts so that Noodles could have a PC to do her gaming with. All right, memory M1, maybe M1 now? Get the tricky stuff out of the way?
Yeah, you need the memory,
All right.
right? Or the M.2.
That's
Is that what you mean by M1?
Now that we know that there's the little screw that could be lost. There we go. M.2.
Well, when I was saying memory, I was saying RAM, but you can do either one you want first.
See,
Doesn't matter.
This is the problem with these old guys like me. Is I want to say memory all the time.
I mean, that's your storage.
Yes, true.
Is that an SSD? Because I have a WD Blue in
Yeah.
mine, I think.
Yeah, that's it. How big is it? What did I go with? 1 terabyte. Yeah, I thought.
I think
What was that?
mine is the 500 gigabyte 3D NAND SAFA SSD. I think it's
Well,
Oh, SATA. Yeah, serial ATA. Yep.
because I'm not paying for
SATA, not SAFA. Sorry.
it, how would you say it?
Serial ATA
Serial
or SATA.
ATA, but SATA. SATA. Okay, all right. Serial ATA. RIP to this board as well if he's not wearing anti-static ankle strap too. LOL. Oh, Gwen. Gwen XYZ. Let's see. We'll see. Okay, what do we got? You know, I've completely forgotten to tweet that I was doing this.
Listen, David's wearing an ankle bracelet, but it's for other reasons.
Yeah, that's just I'm just not allowed to leave the room.
Right.
Okay, so there you go. These are all little. They're so tiny,
Yeah, they're small.
just ridiculously small. Okay, it doesn't have an enclosure or anything. There's no.
No,
Really, it doesn't need. I guess it doesn't need it. Okay.
doesn't need it.
So I guess I can look at the instructions on this too. Let's see what it says.
Here, I'm gonna make your life a little easier before you pull it out of the wrapper.
Okay, what do you got?
You want to take a small Phillips screwdriver and you want to unscrew that screw from that nut on the motherboard
Oh,
that
it
you
is.
pointed to earlier.
Yeah, sorry. There's a screw there. The screw is the nut, if that makes sense.
It's the trust me, the screw is screwed into the nut.
It is.
Yes.
Well, because I have a separate little screw over here. What's this?
That's probably a spare.
Oh, you think so? Where's my little screw go? All right, let me see.
It's
here.
probably the same screw as what's already there.
Well, I don't see a screw. I mean, look, I'll show you. I'll show you the thing. No, that's gonna go in there. No, that's it. I think we got the screw. I think there's. I think I threw.
Oh,
you
are you
off.
saying that the nut? Are you saying that the nut has a Phillips head in it?
Exactly.
Okay, because some of them do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it looks like a screw that's been screwed in that then has a screw that then screws into that.
But there is a threaded hole in the middle of
There
the
is a
top of that. Is
threaded
what
hole
you're
in the
saying.
middle. Yes.
Okay, then that is your screw. For
Okay,
that, yes.
good. All right. I thought that was it, but you know, I've been wrong before. Not on Stargate.
No, it's good. It's good.
All right, what do we got now? We've got so I'm pulling this out. And same thing. Don't touch the. I'm assuming just don't touch the copper, right? Because that's where you're.
Just hold it by the edges, just like the CPU.
I can't. The only finger place has a big copper thing. All right, fine. As you
No, that's the narrow edge or the hold it by the long edges.
like that. Look at that. Beast.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I'm guessing I want to put it in this way. Oh, I see. That's
Most
what the little
likely.
copper piece- Where are you going in? Okay, I'll give you a little. I wonder if I can...
It does not sit flat as you're sliding it into that port. It's meant to go in on an angle,
Oh, okay. So it's supposed to go in like this kind of a thing.
like a down angle.
Is it right
Yeah.
at the top? It's going. Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, and if you're at the right angle, it'll just slide in easily.
Okay. Not yet. Okay, I'm finding that right angle.
Don't go any higher.
Okay.
You don't want to snap the thing off. Yeah, around that angle.
Okay.
And then you'll notice that it's going to fit, like when it goes in that nut, as you push down on it,
It's not below.
you'll know whether or not it's far enough in,
Okay.
because
So you're saying get it in as far as you can, like this. Oh, whoa! You see that?
Yeah.
That went in beautifully. Oh, can I push it down now? There, okay, I can. Oh, and it aligning beautifully over here as well.
yep. So there
Nice.
you go. Just hold it down with the finger and put the
Okay.
screw in. I recommend using a magnetic screwdriver if you have
I
one.
think this is magnetic. If not, it is being made magnetic by me dropping it so many times. Here we go. Okay, so little tiny screw.
Don't let it get away from you.
Trust me. This, I mean...
They have a habit of finding the place where you can't get it out.
Yeah, it's like kids are able to find like the one electrical socket in an entirely padded room. All right. Okay. Not that I raised my son in a padded room, just to be very clear. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just going to, again, so everyone's able to see this in beautifully documented, slightly HD resolution. This is me screwing in the little M1. Isn't this exciting? Alan, this is going to be so dull for you. You do this all the time.
That's okay.
Is it just the danger of
I'm doing the same thing here as I'm talking to you about doing. It's pretty funny.
I'm guessing I don't need to really crank down on it because the connection is over there anyways, right? All right.
Yeah, it's just snug.
That is in. That is in and that is done. I'm wondering if I should just build this for her and then make her take it apart at home. I don't know. I
don't know. You could take some of it apart. Like some of that stuff, you're just better off just leaving all on the board. Like once you have everything assembled on the board there, you should just, aside from the graphics card, like you should just, just leave it.
There's only one. Wait a second. There's only one PCI thing. They've only got the little tiny PCI boards. They got one big one. Interesting.
Well, that's a B450 board. It's not meant for like higher end stuff.
I guess you don't need, because who needs more than just a GPU and a couple of like maybe, an extra USB port or something, right?
Well, even then the GPU is going to cover that first slot next to it anyway. Because of how wide graphics card is. Like the heatsink for the graphics card is going to cover the next little slot. So you really only have the one after that.
Okay. Memory?
Yeah.
Da, da, da. Here you go. The unicorn vomit. Prepare.
And you got 2 sticks there, right?
I have 2 sticks, yes. Well, we'll find out, but I
who makes that board? MSI?
This is an MSI B450M Pro VDH. Okay. I'm trying to make the boxing not too horrible so that I can sort of rebox it for her. Although, I say that, I think we're going to keep the memory in there as well, probably, aren't we? Much point in pulling that.
No, I could probably do this more for the we could probably do this more for the education of the viewers.
Yeah, look at this.
But usually the only thing I look at, did that board come with a paper manual or no?
Oh, right, manuals.
Like an actual book?
It's in the box. Probably. Do you want me to look?
I'm looking it up online. The only thing I usually have to look up in the motherboard manual is just to make absolutely sure that they want you to populate the slots in a specific order.
Yeah,
sometimes you got to go every other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to find out.
I'm looking it up.
But the reason, so basically, it won't identify that second one if it's in the second slot. Sometimes you have to put it in the third slot.
Either that, or it might identify both of them and might give you all of the capacity of that RAM, but it might not communicate with it as fast as it can because it's only using one channel instead of 2.
Of course. Genius.
Yeah,
God,
so that's
that looks pretty good. That looks pretty great. It's hard to believe that that's enough to keep this beast.
Is that might be the one? Oh, I don't know. I don't think that one has LEDs on it. That's just a black.
This does not.
That's just a black ring, right? Yeah.
No, I felt like it was just an added expense that I felt was better spent on a nice keyboard.
Yep.
And fancy RAM.
Rainbowy keyboard is probably cooler than rainbowy.
Exactly. Yeah.
CPU heatsink. Yeah.
All right. So my question is there a numbering to the boards that I need to worry about?
Numbering to the
MM1 is the Oh, there you go. Look, it's actually labeled. It says the what? First is.
Oh yeah, it might just be labeled right there on the board.
It's okay. Well, explain that to me. All right.
Well, sometimes the labeling is not great.
So the labeling here says, I don't know if you can see it.
I'm looking.
Let me just get a little further back.
As good as a Twitch stream can let me look.
Yeah, seriously. Let me see if I can. So it says DIM A1, DIM A2, DIM B1, and DIM B2. And it says the first, it says, is DIM A2 and B2.
There you go. Yeah.
So we want to put the first amount of memory in 2 and 2.
Yep.
So basically, we're going
So the
2 and
yeah,
2.
so the second and the fourth away from the CPU, it looks like, right?
Okay. There's enough
Yep.
room for me to put this in a place where you could see what's going on more. Hang on one second.
yeah,
Let me
there-
grab. So I just don't
There's
wanna,
your answer.
I don't want to be knocking things over while I'm, as I can.
See, they used to number them similarly. They would say A1, A2, B1, B2, something like that, right?
Right.
But the problem was they wouldn't tell you if the letter or the number corresponded to two different channels.
Ha.
So you still had no idea,
Right.
even with those labels, which is the reason that they eventually wised up and went, okay, look, people just need to know which ones you put the first two into.
Well, and I think there was almost
Just draw an arrow.
There was almost a pride taken in being a bit cryptic about this stuff. Like it was like, well, you shouldn't be building a PC if you don't know what all the dual inline memory modules do. You know what I mean? Like,
But here's the thing: even the people that know all that stuff, with the way those boards are labeled, will still screw it up.
oh god, I'll
right?
overthink it all the time too.
Yeah, so like that's why I say like that's the only thing that I will usually open the motherboard manual for, unless it's like right there on the board and just says, "Here, dummy." Okay, fine.
That's a little better. People can see a little bit of what's going on here now, right? Unless it gets too dark. But, all right, you get a sense. Okay, so you can certainly see we've got some memory going here, and we're going to put one in here as labeled. I'm going to put it in DIM 2 and DIM 4 basically, but A and B basically. All right, okay. Any rules on this stuff that I should know about?
Hold it from the heatsink.
Hold it by the heatsink. Oh, they're wow. Pretty sexy.
The RAM
pieces,
heatsink.
these things. Look at that. And you can. I know there's one way of putting it in too, so I got to make sure I get that right.
That's
That
true. It's
in.
keyed.
So I've got the shorter one here, so I think it's just going to go in like. Can you all see what's going on there? Put that in there.
It won't let you do it the wrong way.
Oh, it won't? Oh, great. Even better.
It'll just teeter-totter on the key.
And do I need to click it, or does it click itself? I thought it snapped in. Yeah, it seems a
Well,
bit
I mean,
wobbly to me.
you have to. It's DDR4. You're going to need a reasonable amount of downward force there.
Yeah, that's weird because it didn't require anything. Okay, that stays where it is. Fine. Okay, so pop that in there.
That is probably not in all the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All right.
Only one side unlatches on DDR4.
Okay,
by
am
the
I
way.
putting it at an angle or just putting it as straight?
Just you don't need a crazy angle, just relatively straight.
Oh, that would be the problem. Look at that. Okay, all right. That's weird. It's catching on. Come on.
It's going to catch,
Okay, it's going in.
especially on
Oh yeah, that was a
Okay.
nice little. That definitely.
You're close.
Oh yeah, there you go. That is in. Okay. One. Just checking to make sure that it's nice and level. Yep, looks good. First one in.
Looks good.
Woo. Okay. Oops.
Rinse and repeat.
All right, stickers everywhere. They love giving you stickers. Okay, so now I'm going to B. Let me just make sure that I got that the right way around. I get
B2.
Is that? How did we like that before? I think it was like that, wasn't it? I think it was like that was the way. B2.
The notch is going to be closer to one side than the other, and it's going to line up with the same on the slot. Yeah.
It's just that you got to get it past. So you got to just get them past the first slot. There you go, and then it should sit in there. He says, fumbling it beautifully. Come on, you beast. There we go. That going in. That's going in. Up. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, look at this. Beast is ready to... Oh. All right. So, we've got RAM. We've got CPU. We've got M1.
M.2.
The advantage of the M1 is
M.2.
What was that?
It's an M.2 SSD.
Oh, sorry, M.2.
M.2.
I'm thinking James Bond or something. So M2, what does it stand for, M.2?
Well,
Ooh, did I just stump him?
no, there's a bunch of different. There's M.2, there's U.2, there's like different like short names, but it's really NGFF, which is next generation form factor.
Seriously?
But nobody calls it that. They just call it M.2. M.2 is like the
Why is it that we nerds have to make things so freaking complicated?
Sorry.
Well, you didn't name it. I'm not blaming you. I see. So it's basically
That is correct.
It's just a style. It's just a style for connecting it, basically.
Yeah, it's physical form factor.
So the physical, but the advantage of these over the old days is that these are tied directly into the PCI, right? So they're speaking directly to the CPU.
Yeah, so that's the electrical, form factor is that it's using PCI Express.
Right.
So it's using the same type of communication that the graphics card slot uses, but just not as many contacts.
Right. And so basically, not even basically, this is effectively an extra slot because in the old days, we'd have to put this into a PCI slot.
Right.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And they just said everyone's doing it. We might as well just build it into the motherboard. It's cheaper. Yeah, it's great. Okay.
Well, I mean, it was originally like the driving factor for it was mobile. It was like laptops. Right. Because who wants to put serial ATA like a SATA 2.5-inch SSD in a laptop? Still takes a decent amount of room in a laptop. Like we can make this smaller.
I remember it. Well, I remember replacing them. I remember thinking, oh, one day I'll get an SSD for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are going there. Okay. Next up. What should we go for? I guess we should. I don't think we're dealing with mics and keyboards just yet. So I'm guessing.
Probably power supply.
Oh, power supply. Shoot. Okay, fine. Power supply. I mean, 650. Is that gonna be enough?
Yeah.
Because if not, I got an 850 over there. Okay, but that was
650 is fine for that.
I was saving that for me. They don't draw that much power, do they? Or I mean, comparably, they don't draw as much power.
Well, I mean, for that particular system, it's not a super beefy graphics card and CPU, so it's not going to be super. It'll draw some power, especially if you're gaming and doing stuff, but it's not going to draw 650 watts.
Well, and this is what Lord Chunky keeps trying to talk me into not spending ridiculous amounts of money on my PC because he says I just won't use it.
Well, that's the other thing. So power supplies actually have an efficiency curve to them. In other words, they are usually most efficient somewhere around 70% or so of their rating.
Huh.
So that power supply running at around 400 watts is probably at its peak efficiency. It gets less efficient as the system's not doing anything. But if it's not doing anything, then it's also not drawing any power in general. So it doesn't matter if the efficiency is low because it's only drawing 50 watts or something anyway. So who cares if you're using an extra couple of watts, right? Yeah, so usually you'd want to select the power supply just for...
Someone said, how's it going? And someone in the chat said, so far we're doing good, nothing dropped.
That's, yes.
Well, I can still knock this off. It's very easy for me to knock this off the desk, so...
Someone says nothing dropped 5 seconds later.
Exactly. 5 seconds later.
So you're going to want the I.O. ports of the motherboard facing you.
Well, I think I'm just going to rotate the actual box instead of my fancy... Oh, maybe a little bit. There we go. Okay. What did you call
just spin the box. I.O. The I.O. ports.
The I.O. ports. Very good. Okay.
Because in the motherboard box, hopefully you put back in the motherboard box, was the I.O. shield, which is that plate that goes in the case.
Alan, it's funny you should ask about that. It happens to be right here.
In
the most organized PC creation lab known to man.
Those are the infernal creations designed to slice your fingers open.
Really are. Someone should stop making cases in general that you slice your fingers open on. That would be my, not, if I was going to change the world, I'll hopefully think of better things, but that would be one of them.
It's kind of funny because the cases that are made of thicker metal that will not slice your fingers open as easily are then more difficult to get the I.O. shield to seat all the way in because the metal's thicker. So then even if you don't cut your hand on the case, you're probably going to cut your hand on the I.O. shield.
Ooh, so here we go. So we're talking. I went modular, just because I'm sorry. I like modular. And
there's a bunch of cables.
Yeah, exactly. Just a bunch of cables.
A lot of which you're not going to need.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that is true. Actually, what I want to do is I've got a bunch of old power supplies for computers. I'm going to turn them into power supplies for my electronics because there'd be good regular current and stuff, right? I mean, they'd be there.
All you got to do is bridge pins 4 and 6.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. If you connect pin 4 to 6 on a power supply out of the ATX connector, that tells it to turn on.
Huh. Perfect. Well, there you go. I'll be doing that then.
Because
I have so many projects that need power, and I never have the. right power. Ha! One thing dropped. Okay. Power supply. Ooh. Oh, that sweet smell of probably formaldehyde. Okay. So this is the power. So the power supply really heart and soul of the machine here. This is what's going to keep it going. Ooh, I like that. Is some nice air cushioning there. They were. I swear to God, this is better packaged than the other more fragile components. Okay.
Protect it.
I do like. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Antex. By the way, none of this is sponsored, other than Dstat was the one who provided all the parts, and I thank him very much for that. But none of this is sponsored. This is all stuff that we picked out that either Lord Chunky suggested I get, or Alan helped out with, or deals. Any deals I found, I got.
Deals are good,
Although
especially now. It's getting, you know, it's a good thing you ordered that stuff when you did, because prices are starting to go up.
And it's nuts. It's crazy now. I can't get my own computer now. Okay.
Right.
So lots of little screws. That's nice. Power supply. I'm guessing that we're setting it up for the time being.
So don't lose those screws, because those are possibly going to be needed to hold the power supply into the case.
Right. Okay. So
It's probably a bag of 4 screws.
I keep that with the box. That's a good point. That is something I find myself doing a lot.
Sometimes the case comes with its own set of screws for that are like color coordinated. Maybe sometimes it depends.
Let's see how fancy these are. These are color coordinated. They're all silver. Okay. Okay. So I put those in there. I'm guessing we're not going to be plugging anything in until I've plugged everything in. So power for this baby. CPU power 1. HEX power.
So to make this easy on you, I would recommend probably taking some of the other boxes off of your turntable so you can have the power supply opposite the I/O shield and away from you.
Very wise. Okay.
Right? That way the power supply is like in the back compared to where you're working.
Okay. So I put the power supply back here. There's the cables. That's okay. All right. So, right. Oh, this is kind of exciting, I've got to say. Okay. Take these off. So in our situation here, we don't need the SATA cables.
Well, if it's modular, those are probably not even connected. The only ones that are connected, if there are any connected at all, are probably the ATX power and the CPU power.
This has the coolest looking twist tie thing that I cannot figure out how to. Oh, I know. It's probably because I'm pulling it the wrong way, isn't it? Let's go. Come on. One of my favorite inventions on the planet is the cable tie. I've got to say, I do love my cable ties. Okay, so. The beast, oh, look at that, snake of power. Okay, so,
I'm trying to see what you got there.
Okay, I'm thinking if I put these, this is my giant ATX cable, if I remember correctly. That is a pretty obvious connection.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, if everyone's okay with that. If I rotate it around so we can see what's going on. I'll move this up a little bit. So what I've got...
An awful lot of other cables there for a modular power supply.
I know there are a lot, aren't there?
I don't think that's a modular power supply.
You know what? It might be. It may be a partially modular, because it's got. Look, I'll show you.
It's got some extra cables.
It's got basically a couple of PCIe's. And
it's got the ones that you're going to use no matter what. Is basically what you're saying.
Those are connected permanently, I think, is the idea.
Yeah.
And
which is fine.
Place this. Yeah, now that you say that, I remember it saved us a chunk of change. And again, I mean, it's funny. It was not hard, thankfully, and we had a budget of $1,500 for this, and it thankfully it isn't hard to get a really good system for that. Now, do we want these cables wound around each other? Probably not, right? I mean, guessing we want to keep them separate. Okay.
Got to keep them separated.
Okay, keep them separated. All right, so this is going on. This is where I broke it. I broke a motherboard doing this, by the way, once.
Dear.
Yeah, I snapped it. I need to move that window. Hang on a second.
Your rocking motion should not go in such a way that it will snap the port off of the board. It should rock the opposite directions.
Rock. Okay, if I
like in other words, holding both sides of the long edge of the ATX power connector, and you kind of like rock it into the port that way.
Like that. and then rock it.
Like instead of snapping it off over the side there, you would like, yeah.
I'm just gonna rock it like this.
Yeah, you're still gonna have to push down pretty hard, and that's normal.
This makes me so nervous. Okay.
I know.
Any of the forcing stuff makes me very. I'm also worried that it's giving. Oop, what was that?
It clicked.
No, you know what? It was me hitting the dim thing. There we go. That's
Okay.
in. That is definitely in now. He says, thankfully. Okay, that's in. That's good. That one's done. So now we're also
Next
going
up
to
is
power.
You need CPU power,
CPU power, which is over. Oh man.
which is a separate 8-pin connector that looks like a GPU power connector, but it's not.
Okay. Here we go.
And it should be like right next to. It might even be in the same braided style thing as the ATX. Maybe, unless there are no more braided style cables.
There are no more braided style cables. There is a. Oh right, yes. This is that weird one that has the dual. Like that ties together, isn't it? It's this one that so you have to sort of snap it together.
Yeah, the GPU ones are 6 with 2 extra pins.
Yes.
The CPU one is 4 pins and 4 pins that can be separated.
Okay, so why do I have 2 here?
You have 2 what?
I've got like 2. I've got 2 of these
CPU power
CPU
connectors.
Power connectors.
There can be 2.
Huh. Okay. Right. And I
That
guess
motherboard probably does not have 2 places
no, it
to
doesn't.
put them.
No.
Yeah.
And my guess is I'm probably going to be better to go with the first one as opposed to the one at the end of the chain.
Wait a minute. There's 2. Are you sure those are not GPU power connectors?
Let's have a look. Ah. Well, there is a. What do we got here? Oh, maybe
Okay.
it's this one.
Is it 6 pins plus 2 extra pins?
Yes.
Those are GPU power connectors.
Yes. I want 2 4s, don't I? Oh,
Correct.
It's 2 4, eh? Left and right, eh? Okay.
Yeah, the GPU ones are the ones that they tie 2 together at the end because some graphics cards just have 2 of those connectors on them and they just have one cable just powers the whole graphics card.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look at this.
But sometimes you might actually have 2 CPU power connectors like coming out of that power supply. It is possible. Not on the same cable like the GPU ones are.
I'm going to rotate this one around so you can see what's going on. Okay, so here we go. So this is my baby right here. That is clearly labeled CPU power 1, and I'm taking these 2 cables. Hello.
Yeah.
And I'm putting them together. Where's the catch on this side? Okay. Catch is I'm building it. You know, it occurs to me, Alan, I should really be doing this with a skimpy T-shirt on so I can flex my muscles while I'm doing it. Right? Isn't that how one builds PCs?
Oh yeah,
nowadays?
yeah.
I was like, really? Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you can build PCs too. I was like, come on, it's like Lego. All right, that's in. I gotta say, he seems like a really nice guy though, that Henry Cavill Superman guy. All right.
That build was pretty cool.
Was it a good build? I didn't watch the whole build, but it had some good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he did it. He even got the CPU water block on like upside down, so the display was showing upside down, and he had to like his OCD kicked in, and he had to like flip it back around the other way.
Of course. Because, wow, there was a display on his. Oh, jeez. Okay, fine. Well, you know what?
Yeah, he had a really fancy. He had like a CPU water cooler that had like a display on it that shows the temperature and everything.
Huh.
It was fancy. Super fancy.
There was somebody I got. There was a mistake with SAG once, and I got checks for Henry Cavill. Literally, I got checks for Superman for Henry Cavill.
Were they a lot larger than what you were used to
They
seeing?
were a lot bigger than the checks I got from Stargate, should I say. And they were like residual checks. And I guess they screwed up somehow and sent a whole bunch. Like, we got literally a whole bunch of... Was it Henry Cavill? Or was it someone else?
Funny, though.
I feel like it was... I think it was Henry Cavill. I'll have to ask with Jane. But yeah, we mailed them off to... we mailed them off to his agent. And I put a little note in saying that, you know, feel free to thank me in person. Because be my friend. Please be my friend. Anyways, okay, so that is that all the power we're dealing with?
Well, you should only have GPU power left.
I mean, she should do this herself, for God's sake. Why am I doing this? Okay.
Because you got to make sure it works,
I know.
David.
Yeah, all right, fine. All right. We'll get this working, and then I get to pull it all apart again. I'm much better at breaking things, Alan, than I am in making them.
I
Okay.
know.
GPU time? Should I pull that baby out?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. So we didn't go crazy because it didn't seem like Although 1660 is way nicer than anything I've got, I'll say. Or Baz for that matter.
There is nothing wrong with that graphics card.
No. Would she know? Could I just give her the other? I've got an old one over here. I could just put it in and tell her that like that's the newest one that she's got.
She would know.
Damn it. All right, Alan. Once again,
Your older one. Your older one is your older next oldest graphics card AGP.
Let me have a look.
Instead of PCI. Like not
it
even the right
up,
slot.
It takes up like 15 slots. I should pull it out for you. It is the oldest. Let me see if I can find it for you. All right, I'm pulling the slot now. It takes 2 slots.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I'm not looking at the screen. Who is this?
Lord Chunky.
Chunky, how are you, sir?
Good.
So
Sorry, I said
far, I haven't broken
online
anything.
school and then a piano lesson.
I heard. I told everyone that you couldn't be here right now because you were getting way smarter than any of us. That's my old one.
He was playing chopsticks.
No, this dude, I'm telling you, I've heard Lord Chunky play, and it's
all right. So what card is that?
It is a N760.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
Wow, super fancy.
That's an old one. Yeah, that's the old one.
It's old.
But it's like, yeah, look how boxy that sucker is. Okay. So Lord Chunky, I haven't dropped anything yet. I haven't broken anything yet.
That's very good.
Yeah, not bad, huh? And I haven't electrocuted myself. But I've got many, many cameras going at the same time.
I was really wishing you would say that's very rare.
Well, it is kind of.
I mean,
to be fair.
Yeah.
All right. As Noodles always points out, I can hurt myself with a glue gun. Okay, here we go. I've got this. Well,
I mean, they're hot.
All right.
Yeah. I've hurt myself with a glue gun before. Who hasn't?
You know, don't worry. As far as sayings like that go, we had cooks on the submarine that could burn water.
I failed to make mac and cheese once. When I first moved out, I made mac and cheese, and I just wasn't really thinking, and there may have been some drinking involved. And I made.
Oh dear.
I made it. I made the mac and cheese, and then we sat down to eat it, and I'd cook everything except the noodles. I'd put the noodles in water, and then just took them out of water, but I forgot to turn the water on.
Sweet.
I managed to al dente, as I called it.
Yeah, crunchy.
Exactly.
Yummy.
Right, Lord Chunky, here we go. Ooh. Yeah, you can also thank most of this research to Lord Chunky, by the way. Life is like a box of chocolates. Here we go. Ooh, look, it gets its own little coffin. Look at that. All right. This is it. So you see, I'm assuming that this is a Lord Chunky approved build because I'm building it on the motherboard box, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Well, because you're just testing it to see if it will work for noodles, right?
Because I don't want to like.
Okay, yeah. So I don't even think we should put it in the case then.
Oh, you don't think you could like just let her figure the case out?
No.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it in the case.
It's just the case is.
I think the case is the hardest part.
The case is the hardest part.
Cable management is what takes the longest. For
Except
sure.
that I feel like Noodles will be better at cable management than I would be. But we'll
Probably
see.
better than all of us.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's possible. I don't know. Chunky.
Just give her a pack of zip ties or something.
You know, we finally took your advice, Lord Chunky, and we stuck a Venom action figure under our CPU, under our GPU in Baz's computer.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's not
It was
sagging.
really
so
sag.
we pulled it apart, pulled it out, vacuumed out the small hamster's worth of dust in there, and then reseated it and stuck Venom to hold it up. All right, here we. Oh, look at this! Like a small city of graphics joy. All right. I feel like I can't take the plastic off. Shouldn't she do that?
Yeah, the plastic is just.
You don't have to take it off.
Okay, good. Because I feel like that's something she should do. I don't want to take that joy away.
She doesn't want you. I'll gladly walk over somewhere to peel off some plastic.
That's exactly, yeah. Okay, so, right. Now I got to find, I was like, where do I put it? It's beautifully covered and protected.
Yeah, there's a protector on it.
It's the actor-proof protector. There you go. It's, all right. Oh, God. Off you come. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this baby, I only have one choice on this board as to where to put this. And that is right.
Oh, it only has one.
Yeah. Only, isn't that weird?
It's probably METX, micro ATX. Looks like.
It's what do you call it?
Micro ATX.
It's not
Micro? I don't think it's that small.
No, I think it's just it's called a cheap ATX.
No, micro ATX is just the cheap stuff.
It's
The mini ITX is the small one. Micro ATX is just ATX width, but just like shorter.
Yeah.
So less slots and expansion. So it's just cheaper.
It might be a micro.
It might be. That's a good point. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. I mean,
but it'll fit in anything. So
yes, exactly. That's good. Yeah, that's good because I've done that before too. Oh, look at that! My cooler doesn't fit in my.
So, if you want, before you plug that in, you could save yourself a little heartache and plug in the power connectors onto it. Do it while you can get a good grip on the card.
Okay, I'm gonna put this back on again so I don't screw it up. Okay, so
because otherwise you're trying to jam them in while it's plugged into the slot.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Like it's a wobbly.
Okay, my question is this.
Yeah.
Do we want me to plug in the very end cable, or the one that leads up to it?
You only have.
it only has one slot. Oh.
It only has one power.
Power efficient.
Yeah, it only has one. You do the first one on the cable, closest to the power supply.
That's not essential, I'm guessing, but just from a way it looks, it'll probably look better that way too, right?
Yeah, because then you would zip tie it or cable tie it like back on itself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show.
For my computer, what I did probably unnecessary. I bought the cable mod cable extensions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get them?
Fancy.
You got the cable extensions?
Yeah.
So is
like
that a
30
6
bucks,
pin or?
They look really nice.
It's a
is that a 6 pin or an 8 pin on that card?
6
Probably
pin
8
plus
pin.
2. The pins on this one are the same, I think. 6 plus 2.
6 plus 2. Yeah. Okay.
And the tricky thing with these things is I'm going to point out to people because it gets me every time. You need to put the separate one below, just a little bit below the lip. So
yeah, it has little plastic tabs to hold it.
So that the larger one holds it in place. Chunky, when we redid Baz's CPU the other day, I realized that was the problem we were having. Oh, and Alan, of course you were part of this as well.
Is that why it crashed so much?
Because this little guy, right? Where is it?
Wasn't getting
enough
power.
Wasn't tucked underneath and was loose.
Yeah.
So
that would stop it from booting potentially.
So I'm a genius for figuring that out.
Not be happy.
It's supposed to throw up a warning on the screen that says, "Hey, you need to connect power."
Oh yeah, it does. Yes, that's true. It did that for the rebuild. Okay, so that's going in. Look at that. We're looking. That just goes in there. And as you say, oh my God, it's so easy when it's not sitting on the.
Once you know the trick,
the way
it just goes
slid
right
it in, that just kind of.
Yeah.
I'm pulling that off.
I feel like...
And then I'm just going to pop this in right here. Right? Can you see what's going on? If I pull this around here, is that better? Oh, let me just turn my hat on.
You might have to slide the motherboard a little forward.
Oh yeah, sure. There's like a little thing like on the RAM stick that to push outwards to move on that, or else it doesn't slot in.
Oh right, there's a little clippy thing, isn't it? So sorry, you're saying I got to clip this in first?
Well, you got to slide the motherboard a little forward on the box.
Forward?
Yeah, because the back plate for the graphics card needs to hang off of the edge of the motherboard.
Right. Okay. So let me just get this in.
Because usually there would be a place for that to go if it was in a case, but you're not in a case.
I haven't given it quite enough room. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Right. Okay. All right. So this is. Can we still sort of see what's going on? Yes, you can. We could put that in there. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Go straight in.
Just snap right in. What a magnificent. That could not be. Okay, Noodles, if you screw this up, I'd be amazed. Noodles isn't here yet.
I wouldn't say that.
You're going to jinx it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Noodles isn't in the call, so Noodles wouldn't hear that.
It's true, but
maybe
she'll
she's
probably
watching the
watch
stream.
it later.
Who knows?
She's very loyal. Okay, so I'm just going to double check that. Because this is what screwed us up last time, was that. That seems to be sitting nicely. Are we going to try a little power up? Oh, I need a monitor.
Yeah, you need like monitor and.
You also need power pins because it's not in a case. You need some sort of something to power it on.
The hell am I
that is true. If you have a flathead screwdriver, I can tell you which pins to bridge.
Yeah,
wait. Hold on. Does that motherboard have a power button on it? Just out of curiosity? It might not if it's a B series.
Oh my God, it's got ancient old things on it.
No, sometimes they have a little power button on them just to make your life easier.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah, one of those little system fan.
It would usually be around where the front panel connectors would go, So that little section of like 12 pins, like 2 rows of pins next to each other.
Don't see anything. That's fine.
No.
I can...
Okay. I'll have to jump it.
Is there not one?
Oh,
Let's see. I
see.
got
So
the
we have to
manual
jumper
here.
it. Okay, so we'll jumper it to get. Shouldn't there be like a little JPS 11? Where's the? Yeah, because we're gonna have to plug in all that stuff on the motherboard, aren't we?
Mhm.
You don't have to plug in all of that stuff that would normally go to the case.
You don't.
You can get away without doing that.
I don't see a power button. I mean, unless there's.
Okay.
You can check the manual, but I.
Yeah, I'm flipping through the manual right now.
Of course you are. I
Let's
don't
see.
see anything that looks even remotely button-like.
Yeah, I don't think there's one.
So if we
On this
just
board.
jumper it together, we'll be able to at least get it up and running, and see if that's going to work for us. Monitor.
Make sure the power supply's plugged into the wall.
Yes, I'm just trying to think of where I'm going to get a monitor from so we can see what's going on. What if I put a tiny little monitor?
Does the Bass have 2 monitors?
He does.
Who needs 2 monitors? Just take one.
I got 3 here, but I'm using one of them for streaming. Maybe I could do. Oh, I know. I'll just
3
take,
monitors.
I'll take,
Who needs 3 monitors? Just take one.
well, then I'll just take one of the.
I
have
need
one
3
that I was gonna
monitors.
take
It's
apart.
well, I don't need it. I normally have Discord on one, game on one, and just YouTube on the other.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely 100% necessary that you can do all 3 of those things at once.
Yes.
I have this.
I just keep it there because I don't really know why I keep Discord open.
I have this nice portable one. How about that? It's actually a TV, but
Or
would do,
that.
right?
Yeah, that
Got
works.
HDMI.
Yeah,
Just gotta find
that's
a plug
one way to
for it.
go.
Where can I'll lean it up over there, and then we can see this.
Boy, you really need a stand for that thing.
Yeah. It's really old, like really old,
You just drop it on the floor.
basically.
It does have HDMI, correct? Just check.
It does have. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Put it right there. In fact, if I tilt it up a little bit, you'll be able to see it from there, maybe. How's that? Why do I feel like this could go horribly wrong?
It's probably going to.
Yeah, this may be where it falls apart. Okay.
Just make sure you try to prop up the TV before you plug in the computer, so when the TV falls, it doesn't bring the computer
Doesn't
with
pull
it.
the computer with it. Ah, see?
Exactly.
Lord Chunky knows me so well. Okay, so, all right. Now I need an HDMI cable. All of a sudden, this room has become very small. Ooh, how about that for an HDMI? Oh, holy moly. Okay, I don't think we have to worry about it. Check this out for an HDMI cable.
Wait.
That
a
is-
very long cable.
What do you normally use that for? Or have you
I
ever
was
used
gonna
that
use
before?
it to put another camera in the other room, but it's too big.
Oh.
The cable is too chunky because it's got Ethernet built in as well. So it basically, sorry, I shouldn't say Ethernet built in. It uses the Ethernet to keep the signal going, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm looking down here. You can see, I'm just going to plug them in right here. That is not what I think it is it? Is that
What?
No, you don't. Oh, is
No,
that
you're
just
not-
near HDMI?
You're not going there, David.
You don't wanna
right,
plug
what am I
the
doing? That's
HDMI.
the motherboard.
Yes, you're
Yeah, you
correct.
want to plug
I
it
don't
on the
want to use
graphics
the
card.
crappy motherboard one.
No, you don't want the right.
All right, let me just rotate this.
On the graphics card.
But wait a second.
Yeah.
The point of that, though, is just to make sure that so you can use that for testing, basically. Is that, or do people actually?
Oh, no.
use this?
Sometimes you could just have an APU.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't even have an APU, so it wouldn't do anything. It would just not
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, some of the CPUs that you could have bought for that board would have like a minimal graphics built in.
Or some of the ones, like some of the AMD,
Yeah,
But
some of them are
this-
decent.
But it's got
Yeah.
an HDMI port,
like
so
pretty decent.
so what is that? What's that going to output then?
Nothing.
Nothing
On
at
that
all.
system, nothing.
It's just there to look.
If
at?
you had a different CPU, maybe something.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Oh, okay, I got it. I see. So the CPU would be handling that on some of them. I see. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So that's plugged in. That is a horrible, horrible connection. Okay. I can feel the pressure of it on the CPU here on the motherboard here. Let me do that. Yeah, you're right. This is where it's going wrong. This is where it's all falling. Oh! I just pulled out the GPU. The GPU just came out.
Don't worry, it's
Plug-
fine.
It has
Don't
a
worry,
little
everybody.
latch on the
This
side
is
that
a
she's
professional
building to
build. I'm
latch
sure
it in.
Henry Cavill had problems too.
The latch
Actually-
holds the back, not the front, unfortunately.
Yeah, it holds the. Yeah.
So, hang on. It's okay. I Henry Cavilled it. It's fine. Okay, let me grab a. These things are the best invention ever. Clamp it. Makes it a little bit more difficult for me to knock things over. This now goes to my other TV. Whoa. It's a very heavy television. HDMI in. Right there. Oh, I need to plug it in too, don't I? Power. Huh, how was I powering it before? That's interesting.
Your power connector is facing us.
Yeah, I don't have a, I need a cable for the TV. Hang on, let me just grab it.
Okay, so go ahead and log off. You can tell him goodbye. You have to go to class if you want, but you need to log off of the.
He's still not in there.
I know, but just go ahead and log off the club so you can start putting in learn history because you still have a lot to catch up on.
Alright. Not that one. Find a
And
long...
if you
This is the
want
part where David trips a breaker.
to,
Yeah, this is
I
it.
have to go
Or
exactly
just
to
trips
school, or you
over
can
the
leave.
whole thing. I'm in the room.
Alright, come on.
Unless there's a plug.
I have to go to get ready for school.
Oh, to get ready for school.
Well, to get school done.
Oh, all right. Well, look, dude, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, also, were you in Stargate Atlantis?
I was, yes.
I saw you in there because we were watching it on Amazon.
Oh,
He
fantastic.
didn't believe me when I told him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just skipped film class to do this, and I told him that was not okay.
Wait a second, you skipped film class to do this?
Yeah, I asked my teacher if I could skip class to do this.
Oh my gosh.
She said
quick,
yes.
Give me a quick question you can answer for him. What would he or she ask you that you could have learned from an actor?
Is it true that it's a lot of hard work?
It's one of those things, I think the hard work comes from the part where you're not working. It's hardest trying to get the job and live your life as an actor. Once you get the job, like everyone always just sees the actors working. That is the best part ever. Like you're looking at the happiest actor right now because I've got work that will be coming up at the end of January, beginning of February. So I'm in a great mood. But the problem is for large periods of time, you often, especially at the beginning, you find yourself not working. So the hardest part about acting, I'm convinced, is you get paid so much when you're acting, which is actually fun. You get paid so much then to make up for all of the time that you're not working. Does that make sense? Because you have to work so hard to get the job. Basically, you have to learn the entire part. You have to perform the part. You have to put it on tape or go in and meet people. You've got to like try to get it all right in one go. And then when you get the part, you get to set. You can screw it up as many times as you want because they want to get it perfect, right? So all of a sudden, it's a whole different world. Like I think it's like auditioning is one type of a job, and then once you get the job, it's a whole different world. So yes, it is very hard work being an actor, but the actual acting is fabulous. Is just amazing if you can get the job, basically. So, are you thinking about acting?
Yeah. Huh?
Are you thinking about acting as a career?
Yeah, actually.
You are.
I wanted to be an actor and stuff, and then because I thought actors are kind of pretty cool because they play a whole bunch of different people.
That idea, yeah.
And so
it's definitely a neat look. I say if you want to get into acting, and one of the things I want to do, which you may be interested in actually, is I want to do a couple of these tech bandits, but do them as like film bandits. So basically, we geek out about film and television and internet and all that kind of stuff, and talk about all this kind of stuff. But basically, I would say if you want to act, the best thing you could do right now is figure out how to make your own stuff, because then you learn everything you need to know about acting and about filmmaking and about TV and working with people and all that kind of stuff, and you get to make your own stuff as well. So that would be my suggestion on that. But good luck, and for God's sake, don't get me in trouble by skipping school for this. You'll get me knocked off the old Twitch. But thank you for joining us, and say thanks to your mom for figuring it all out for us.
Yeah, I did.
All right, good man. We'll see you soon. Have a good
All right,
weekend.
see you soon.
All right,
You
cheers, man.
too.
That was our newest bandit, by the way. from Seattle, I think he said he was from.
Seattle. Wow.
Yeah. Let me get a plug, and then I can get this thing done. All right, hang on 2 seconds. Oh, I can still hear. How cool is that? Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do just a I mean, normally I just try to avoid acting in general when I'm not acting, but I just think it'd be kind of fun because I remember I got into it around 14. That's when I started. That was where my sort of. That's where I realized it could actually be a job. So I'm kind of looking. I kind of like the idea that I could maybe convince people either to do it or not to do it, depending on what I tell them about it. All right. Okay. So I've got power. Do I have power? I will in a moment. Here we go. All right. Can you see the screen at all? I probably can't. Can you? I'll move this around a little bit. So if I do that, you can sort of see a bit of the screen as well.
Is it posting?
No, I haven't actually plugged it in yet. I just got the TV working at this point.
Okay, wait, do you have the SSD in there?
Okay, the SSD's
Yeah, he
in.
does.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're chunky.
Do you want to pre-install Windows for her?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
I don't have Windows.
Do you want me to, do you know, if you don't have one, I have a stick. I could just run over and put it in your mailbox.
You have a stick? Oh,
Yeah.
I have a stick.
Yeah.
But wait a second. But they can't use the same stick as me, though, can they?
No, it's not a stick with the operating system. It's just with the operating system. It doesn't have a code or anything.
it's the installer.
Because most of the time, what you buy is just like a code, but I have an installer.
Well, I have a USB that I use to install our.
Now wait a minute.
Would that work?
Doesn't she want to do the installation?
Does she?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, let's
Say
get
it's
it
probably
running. We'll
least fun
find out.
part.
I mean, she'll probably join us later anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right. Wait a sec. I'm plugging in the power. How do I do that? Do I need a cable or something for that? Did I miss something? No?
Teach you how to jumpstart a PC.
Oh yeah. It's like hot
without
wiring a PC.
without being in the case. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Now, do you want me to have power on for this?
You will need power.
Okay. Then I shall plug in our magnificent power supply. Plugged in there. That's plugged in. Plug it in over here. All right. Okay, remind me not to spin the Lazy Susan now. Okay, that's plugged in. Because that's what's gonna next thing. I'm gonna go like this, and it's all gonna get dragged off the UA. Is there a better place the TV? What if I move the TV over here? It's so portable. I figured I might as well just move it. You son of a! Is that better? Can we see it better now? Or have I just made it even harder to see? Slightly harder. There you go.
Can't tell for sure because this. Let me refresh this
How's that?
Twitch video because
it's
it's
gonna
like.
fall over. So I've got sort of part of a TV there. I wonder if I can. Wait a second. It's possible. I mean, it's not gonna. It's so thick that it might just sit on the. I feel this could go badly.
Actually, wait. David? Are you sending your video feed out to the Discord or no?
Yes.
You don't have to. I'm just asking.
I should. Oh, not this one, but the. I mean. How's that? All right. Don't make any sudden moves.
Dear.
No sudden moves.
This is the day we broke a television.
It's an old one. It's fine. This is the quality entertainment that people want. The potential.
And you're gonna try to
punch the television. Just be like, "Oh, we're done with this," and just slap it down.
All right. What am I doing?
Okay.
Do I need a cable to do the jump ring with?
You can do it with a screwdriver.
Can you?
Ooh, the fun way.
Sweet.
Yes, the fun way. We're gonna teach him the fun way.
Okay. What do we got?
We're gonna add a punch. We're gonna add a star to his geek card today.
All right. Oops. I've got cables hanging over the wreath
Okay.
at this point. Let's go around
Now.
them.
On the edge of the motherboard, closest to the camera.
Closest to the camera.
Right.
Right here.
Uh,
Do I'm going to tilt down a bit.
On the right, towards the right edge, or furthest away from you, towards the edge furthest away from you. That's closest to you. I have a delay because I'm looking. Okay,
Oh, no,
there
that's
we go.
farthest away from me.
Yeah, over there, towards over there, maybe about an inch or two away from that corner. There's going to be a, I think it's JFP1.
Yep.
It's a pin header. It's got 5 pins closest to the edge, 4 pins, back a row.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Out of those 4 pins, the 2 that are furthest away from you are the 2 that you need to jumper.
Okay, so I'll turn it on. No, it's a jumper first. I'll show you the jumpers.
No. You can turn the switch on the power supply.
Okay. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna connect those 2 like that.
You just have to tap the screwdriver between those 2 pins out of the 4 furthest away from you. Yes.
I feel like I'm hot wiring a car in a Nicolas Cage movie. All right, so I'm turning this on, and then I hit.
Yes.
What did you say? The far 2 ones?
The far 2. Well, there's a row of 5 and there's a row of 4.
Right.
The row of 4 should be to your left.
Yep.
As you're looking at it.
And the furthest one's away.
Out of those 4, the 2 that are the furthest away from you.
Got it.
Yes.
All right, I'm firing it up. Here I go. I can't find the button. It's somewhere over here. I don't know where someone move the button. All right, got it. All right, ready? So do I have to do it in any kind of speed or just at any point?
No, you just kind of you'll know because the system will power on once you.
Oh, okay. All right, it's on, and then I just tap it. Nothing.
It's possible that the power supply was on and now it's off.
Ah, really? It's so quiet if that's the case. Where'd you go?
Is there a fan on? There's no fan on.
Yeah, there's nothing on.
Oh no, the power supply's fan would turn on if you check. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, it's still not getting any power at all from it.
Just go look at the back of the power supply and check.
Go look at the switch on the power supply because it's going to tell you which one is on or off.
That's so weird though. Why is it not? I always get confused by this. Do we want the circle or the? We don't want the line, do we? Or the circle?
You want the line to be pushed in.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing.
So that's on.
It's on. Oh, I see a light. I see a light. Okay, one sec. Let me do this.
Now you're primed and ready to hotwire.
Okay.
How about I should do it right away? So you're touching both the pins. I wish you could see which pins you were doing.
You want to hear this? Look, I'll show you. So
Grab that.
These 2 right here. Can you see? I'm doing these 2 right here.
I'm looking.
Oh, got it. That was it.
That was it?
Okay, nice.
Ooh,
it's got a nice, pretty light on the graphics.
it does. Look at that. Oh, wait a sec. Check this out. You're missing the
And
good
the
part.
memory looks
Look at that.
very nice.
And the Wraith is already sucking out the fumes. HDMI cable connected. What was that noise? And then it died. Oh no, there you go. Oh, okay, CMOS has been cleared. Please enter setup to configure your system. F1 to run setup. F2 to load default values and continue. Woo, woo,
Oh, do you have a keyboard?
Look at you. Look at you at the post screen.
We got the post screen.
Yay, post screen.
That's it, right?
I mean, there's not much else to do without the Windows installer.
Now it's her problem.
Yeah.
Or do we install Windows for her?
I mean,
she can install Windows.
She can install Windows.
It's the thing you gotta go through. Part of the process.
It's a good learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning experience.
Tell her she need a USB stick that's at least 8 gigabytes, and then
Yes.
Well, right. Although, will she be? Yeah. Okay. So then, what she would do then is she would put the stick in. She'd boot it up, having put it in the case.
Yeah.
And it would just start installing. Like it would go through some prompts and ask you a couple of questions.
Sometimes they have a special one for it, but they don't here. I guess that maybe it's a
no. It just
Can you move the camera and fully show what it says on the TV? Because I've never actually seen I've never seen a monitor without Windows on it.
So it says.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's basically saying like, it doesn't have anything it can do right now. Well, actually, it's showing these.
Well, if you press F11, you can do the BIOS.
Yeah, you can go into the BIOS.
Which is just
How am I going to press F11?
picture like Windows,
Smarty chunky.
but then really bad, and it looks like it's for gamers.
Text only Windows.
Oh my god,
Well,
it's awful.
Text only Windows.
Except
it
that,
has some like really basic graphics sometimes.
Yeah, that motherboard might have a graphical BIOS.
It's retro cool though, like because it looks like the old DOS days.
Yeah.
Did you get
totally
that Wolf Pup? So it's saying our CPU's okay. It's saying that our memory.
How many kilobytes of RAM show up? Do both show up?
The memory show up?
16.
Does it show? Did you put? Okay, the two sticks are not right next to each other.
Exactly. Right? Yes.
Oh, sorry for hitting my mic. I was moving my hand and I hit it. Sorry.
Look at the lights on those things. I mean, that's beautiful.
Also, can I tell you something cool?
What do you got?
My dad made a Rust server. I'm pretty sure I've already told you.
Yes.
Told you. I shouldn't have said told. And people are actually playing it.
Oh yeah? You got people on there?
Not at the moment. It's only me and my dad at the moment, but people have been joining and the PC has been running fine with people on it.
Oh, that's cool. And is the idea, is he gonna like, is this gonna be just open to the public type thing? Is that the idea?
This is a public server.
Alright, what do I do?
It's been random people joining.
Which is so funny. How do they find you? Is he like putting it out there? Or like how do people find
they look for low pop servers, which I'm pretty sure you know, low population.
Population, yes. Look at that.
Because the server was just made like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And they find this one, and people are asking, how are you hosting the server? Because someone asked, is anyone online? And then they said, yeah, I'm online.
Right.
And then they asked, how did you find this server? And then my dad said, yeah, I am the server creator.
And they're like, and the idea, I guess, is to get in early so you can set up on a server. I'm just going to put this microphone next to the computer because I cannot believe how
wait, David, which RAM is that? Hold on, let me go look at the link.
It's the G-Skill...
Trident Z Neo.
Trident Z Neo, yeah.
Does it need to be... Sorry, David, this next line is going to fly over your head, but... Does it need DOCP enabled to get the full speed?
Wait, isn't it... wait, it's not DOCP.
What's
like...
DOCP?
On AMD boards, it's called DOCP.
Oh, it's called something different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
XMP on Intel, DOCP on AMD.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So David, I'll get you up to speed. Sometimes you have to change a little bit of the configuration in the system BIOS in order for the memory to go the full speed that it's advertised to go.
Ah, what is this supposed to run at?
Because sometimes what happens is it starts off at a more conservative setting that's actually going slower than the number on the side of the box, basically.
Okay, let's see what the box
Like it's probably only going like 2600 or 2400 right now.
So this is...
They both seem high numbers.
Yeah, so this
but usually goes up to like 3000.
So
yeah, that memory is...
Is that memory 3600 or 3200?
36.
36. Okay, yeah. So
you definitely want to like change that. So all you have to do is plug in a keyboard
and a mouse.
Yeah.
Actually, you can do it without a keyboard. I'm pretty sure, with the arrow keys and enter button. But
you mean without a mouse?
Well, then is now the time.
Without a mouse. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes.
But it's probably easier with one.
Yeah, the mouse might help.
I've got an Apple keyboard. Then I don't have to open this because then she at least gets to open her keyboard.
Is the Apple keyboard wireless?
Yeah, you can try to navigate a PC BIOS with an Apple keyboard.
You think that's maybe
Apple will get mad at you. They won't like that.
You think it's a bad idea?
They'll make your trash can Mac even slower.
Or just might not work right.
Hey, wait a second. What about this? Can I use a Bluetooth keyboard?
No.
What? Why not?
How do you think you connect Bluetooth from the BIOS?
Isn't it just built in? Damn it.
Does it have a dongle?
Yeah.
If that's a dongle, then you can do it.
That's a dongle.
That's not Bluetooth then.
Is it not?
It can be Bluetooth and have a dongle.
Really?
I
figured it could be like both.
On a Linux machine, so I'm assuming that can't be more weird than that, right?
If it's like a Logitech keyboard or something, it'll have its own proprietary thing.
Like
not Bluetooth.
This is a Logic Crack.
Does it have arrow keys?
It has arrow keys and it has even a mouse pad.
Yes. Wow.
It's glorious. Okay, so what am I hitting? Well, first off, I got to turn.
You're hitting whatever key it says to hit to
F11,
go into the
probably.
Yeah.
I think I might have left it on. Wait a second.
I have to love it or delete.
Hmm.
One of the two usually.
I may need to plug it in. All right, hang on. It's a little.
Oh, does that not have F keys?
It has,
Okay.
Does it have F keys? Oh yeah, it's got tons of F keys. All the F keys you could possibly want.
You gotta function to get the function.
That's it. Function. All right. What's your
FN.
function? All right, here we go. Okay, I got this. I just need to power it. So as long as one of these USBs has power, I should be okay, I think.
They should be all powered.
Yeah, so. All right. It's never simple with me. All right. Okay, so F1 to load setup. Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay, F1. Here we go. F1. Come on, baby. Here we go. You logged in? There we go. F1.
You can turn your headlight off.
Can I? Or do I just want to dim it?
It's glaring off the monitor,
Maybe
so
I want to dim
won't
it.
be able to read it.
That's my. I'm going J.J. Abrams. It's like a cool movie. Okay, F1.
True. Lens flare, baby.
Oh, my gift! I just got a notification. My gift sub ends today.
Uh-oh. Look out. It's not running.
I don't think
Maybe it could be because of your tiny keyboard.
Yeah. Did you plug that dongle in all the way?
Maybe you should try the Mac keyboard.
Oh, fine.
I mean, David, you have a keyboard there.
Yeah, but I have to unplug it. It's plugged into like 50 different things.
No, I mean, you have a keyboard in a box.
I know, but I just thought she might want to open that. All right,
Okay.
fine. Well, I tried, didn't I, right? Everyone saw me try.
Yeah. Now you gotta open the fancy keyboard.
I'm just wondering if maybe it's because I set it up for the Linux. It might not be. It may be set up on something different. Hang on a sec. If I go off.
F1 should still be F1, even.
I know you'd think, wouldn't you? You'd think they wouldn't change that.
They did. I'm pretty sure that doesn't change.
Yeah. It's
Are
not
you,
like it's
are
not
you
like a
holding on
timer
FN,
over
or
it.
did
Okay,
you
all
press
fine.
FN?
All right, well, I
before you
tried
pressed
to
it?
be nice, and now it sucks. Okay, so all right, I have to open it, but I'll open it really carefully so that she won't even notice it's being opened. But she'll
Unless
be
she
so
watches
thrilled she
this.
doesn't have to deal with this. Anyways, I'll have recorded this whole thing, so she'll be able to see the entire thing, and it's like she was there.
True.
Okay. Here we go. Putting this. This is the Huntsman, Razer Huntsman. I thought because she had limited space, even though Lord Chunky thinks it was a mistake, limited space, I thought I should get her a small keyboard, and this is tiny. It is beautiful.
I don't think it's a mistake, but
Beautiful and
necessarily.
tiny. Like just.
But I find the line and delete and stuff just annoying for certain things.
Oh, no way. Is it a modular cable? Oh, wow.
Is it
Look at this
USB-C?
little baby. Come on, it's not much bigger than the little one that I got. Look at it.
True.
That is the cutest little keyboard. And it's got unicorn vomit, so it is.
Ooh, yay!
Oh, yeah.
Unicorn vomit.
You know it. You know, I know Lord Chunky always says, when in doubt, if you don't have money to spend it on unicorn vomit. He says that every time.
Yes,
He really
exactly.
doesn't. He's like so opposed to unicorn vomit because he's like, you can spend the money on better components. I think I
Only
spent
time
more
you
on the
want to spend money
keyboard
on
than anything
unicorn
else.
vomit, if you're spending like a decent amount of money on a computer, like $2,000, and you want to
Yeah.
put some of that money towards unicorn vomit, maybe.
Right. I mean,
But if you only
want
have
a
like
little blade,
$1,000 to spend, then I would definitely not do unicorn vomit.
Right.
What is unicorn vomit?
Oh, sorry. That's what Lord
Very
Chunky-
colorful lights.
Yeah, that's
It's
what he
what
calls.
it's what the memory is doing on the computer right now.
See the fancy lights over here? Yeah, that's unicorn vomit. It's unnecessary, entirely unnecessary. Designed purely, probably by marketing folks. Look, even the cable is beautiful on this. This is a nice little keyboard, I gotta say.
Is it?
Okay,
Oh,
so this is going in here. Oh,
It's all braided.
what the hell's that? What is it? That's a big cable. That's a little cable. Perfect. Okay, that's what I want. And by little cable, I mean USB-C or whatever it is. I get my USBs mixed up a lot too. I discovered it's getting very confusing with all these different USBs and lightning bolts and all that kind of stuff. All right, so I'm plugging in here. Another one. Only without the cover on it. That's not going to go in that way.
Yes.
That's the way to go. Ooh, do you see that light up? Look at this. Oh, it's too bright.
It's delayed, but oh wait,
Yeah,
no.
it's too bright.
It's way too
No?
bright. Yeah. A little bit, but not.
How's that? Better? Come on, look at that.
Oh wow, that is
That is, yeah.
That's pretty great.
It just looks like a blob of light right now.
Whatever you do, don't knock the monitor over.
Yeah, it's true. I almost did that. Okay, so I'm pressing F. I don't have an F key.
You do. You get function and then it's probably one of the numbers.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Actually, that's kind of cool. Look, they're labeled underneath, so you can actually see. Oh, you can't really see that, but they're actually labeled on the underside here. Just kind of. Can you see that? Just up there. So it's still a brilliant choice, Lord Chunky. Just so you know. F1 done. Ooh, oh, it is a little bit more graphical, I guess. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to look at our
overclocking.
You're going to need to pan over the.
It doesn't have.
The. We need to see the rest of the screen, David.
Oh, do you? You don't see it?
Yeah.
Someone
well, actually, you can probably go straight down to memory.
He could be a DJ with a hat and
true.
phone.
It is very DJ-like. It's true. I wonder if I do this, will you be able to see it better? No.
With that camera.
I'm trying to, but it's very far away, and I don't want to knock anything over. Okay,
That's true.
That.
David, I would just go straight to memory.
That's what I'm thinking.
Except
that's
probably
here's the
where
question I have for
it's gonna be.
Yep. How am I going to do that with no
arrow keys
on the key?
You don't have arrow keys?
Tab.
Can we use ASDF? Tab? Oh, tab.
You don't have arrow keys.
That keyboard has arrow keys.
It doesn't.
It's got to have arrow keys.
It doesn't.
What? Okay, before I was thinking met, it's fine. But without arrow keys, you have to use function. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, that is.
Wait
annoying.
a minute.
Maybe this isn't the keyboard for her. Maybe we should change it. Maybe we should send this back.
I'll take it.
Page up, page down, left. Well, these would that do it? Let's see if this works. Nope. Function. Shoot. Function. Okay. Ah, there you go. Okay, memory.
Yeah.
2133. Come on.
21. Oh, that.
It's supposed to be.
Now see those.
600.
Oh, they do call it XMP on this board. So see how it says XMP profile 1 and 2.
You want to probably enable 2. That's probably the faster one.
Yep.
It looks
or
like
do
the
1 and then 2.
It looks like the
What
timings are the same.
16, 19, 19.
Yeah, they're both
39.
3600.
Yeah, they both look the same.
But it says the current DRAM frequency is 2133.
Correct. Now, if you don't see any place to change anything there, you might have to go into like overclocking options or something.
Really?
Yeah, just go to XMP profile 1 or whatever, and then you could probably. It might take a reset to do it.
I don't have any options. Unless I press the wrong key, which is possible. Oh. No, I don't seem to have any choice to change anything there. Maybe this is just the what?
I think that's just info.
Yeah, I'm not sure
what
I've
you're
got
yeah.
LAN options, CSML, ERP, HC audio, favorites, M flash. I don't see a lot of options here. No.
Would be a way to tweak it.
You know what part of the problem might be is that the monitor is a little bit. The monitor's not showing the full screen, which I'm not sure how to do on this one.
Oh, that's true.
Where is it not showing?
Like this
it's doing the underscan thing.
I'm trying to find.
David, if you have the remote for the TV, you got to switch its input.
There's no remote. It wouldn't be that.
There's
easy.
no remote?
No. Who needs a remote, for God's sake?
Is the TV so old it doesn't have a remote?
Yep. It's really old. That's the monitor. What does that do? Menu. Menu. Okay, menu. Where do I want to go up and down? How do I do that? Picture. There you go. Then what do I hit? Enter. Which one is enter? This one?
It's gonna be like an overscan mode or something.
Size?
Yeah.
Whoa! Don't lean on it. Really bad idea. Really should not lean on it. No. Go this way. Oh, for God's sake.
You had it. Yeah, right there. Yep.
Dynamic?
No, change it.
It's very hard to figure this out. Okay, where's it going? There? Dynamic.
Uh-huh.
Oh, for God's sake.
One more.
Dynamic? Come on.
Nope. One more.
Oh,
Keep going.
No, I need to go down a bit. I can't see.
There you go. Now you want to change it.
I don't know. The buttons are hard to see, so you go there, go to here. Nope. Oh my God! Why won't you let me do this? How about this?
Got to be one of those buttons.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna hit this. Oh. It's got to be one of these, right? I mean, it's not. None of them are changing it. None of them are changing it.
The same button that you hit to get there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's not letting me do the mode.
No, I mean, like, what happens if you hit the button to go into that menu to select the different one, but then you just hit the same button again?
Select it. I select it again. It goes out. It bounces out.
Oh, it goes back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops. And then exits. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, HDMI. So that one's going to take you that way. So this. Here we go. Nope. Fudge. Okay. That. That's the HDMI. It's fine with that. Don't change that, for God's sake. Input? No.
Oh, yeah.
Are you overclocking it? That looks like an overclocking menu.
Doesn't it?
We're not there yet.
Yeah, first off, I've got to get
I thought
down.
that was like an overclocking menu or something.
God, this is so frustrating.
I thought you were immediately overclocking it.
All right, picture.
No.
I'm going to there.
It's not too much of a point in overclocking with the stock cooler. You could probably get some out of it, but not
Standard, movie, custom. It's not making a difference. I need to change
enough
something
to
else.
be worth your time.
What else could it be? Setup, maybe? Or contrast, color?
Yeah, keep going further down on the other menus.
Yeah, it's gonna have to.
You might have needed to just change that from HDMI to PC mode on that other screen you had up like a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll look. What's this doing? Contrast, okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna exit out again. Go there, go there, go there. Picture. There's no real choices there. Blue screen, picture-in-picture, DNA demo, digital NR, none of those. 16:9, could that be the thing?
Yeah, mess with that one. There might be like a fit mode instead of a 16:9 mode or something.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go there then. Okay, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to there. I'm going to go to there. Okay, and I'm gonna hit that. And then I'm gonna go down. Yeah.
How about this, David? We're gonna use ESP to figure out what's supposed to be up there.
Source. Hang on, I think this is.
And I'm just going to assume that it
That's what I
says the
want.
standard
There
thing
you
up
go.
there.
We got it. Hang on.
Oh, you got
I
it?
think I got it now. 4x3, a little better.
Nope. Nope.
That's our only choices are those two. That,
No. Well, then it's just gonna cut it off no matter what we do.
Okay, never mind then.
Anyway, so go to your keyboard and hit F7.
Let me just get this. Okay, all right. All right, F7 coming up on my glowy
F7.
keyboard of joy. Here we go. F7. Trying it again.
You are now in advanced mode.
Here we are.
Pro series for
Nice.
gamers.
God, that's so frustrating. Okay, so we'll go to settings. Is that right? Or yes? Settings. Ooh, okay. Go.
It might be under overclocking or it might be under memory.
I've got system status, advanced, boot, security, save, and exit.
Hold on. My stream has stopped updating.
Probably
Come on.
system settings.
Uh-oh.
Try advanced first, I would say, before system settings.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. PCI subsystem settings, ACPI settings, integrated peripherals, USB, Super I/O,
Go to the bottom one.
AMD overclock.
Yeah.
Maybe someone.
Let's try AMD overclocking. Done. Warning: damage caused by. Am I accepting?
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, that.
Okay. DDR Infinity Fabric frequency timings, huh? Infinity.
We're
Fabric.
not.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Are we not doing that?
Wait,
Well,
no, we're not messing with Infinity Fabric. We're trying to do
Right.
RAM speeds.
But that's
Well, they're both
timings.
tied together on AMD.
I think they're the
So
Are
it's-
they? Oh.
yeah. DDR is the memory.
DDR frequency and timings, right?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, what
Oh,
the
DDR.
hell is Infinity Fabric frequency? It sounds like something out of.
That's
So Oh,
That's that's just how the parts of the CPU communicate with each other and with the memory. So, what's that top option? I can't see. It's washed out.
DRAM timing configuration.
Not
Yes.
only timing. You think?
Well, it might be in there. We could just look.
There we go. Oops, I can't do that. I need to go like this. How do I make this a cinematic adventure for everybody and still see what's going on? What the hell was that? Okay, all right.
What?
DRAM timing
1 second.
or DRAM control?
Yeah, just go in there and see. Go in there and see what's in there.
I need to get back to base.
Overclock. Overclock is set on auto right now.
See what the options are.
Enable or auto?
It's not very descriptive. All right, go back.
No, nothing after enable.
Don't do it.
Yeah, just escape.
Okay, DRAM controller configuration then?
Yeah, try there.
Let's try that.
They're gonna be simpler than this to enable XMP.
Command T 2T
2, please.
or gear down mode.
I'm running back to my home.
What is the
watch out,
top
Wolf Pup,
option?
We're hearing you.
Oh, sorry, my mom came in. I
Oh, no worries.
completely forgot I had the mic on.
All right. You've got to get going?
I forgot I had my mic down
Ah,
because
I
I have a
Man, oh, man.
wireless one. Sorry, I will
No worries.
try to remember
Okay.
to do that next time.
What's your top option there, David?
I think
Or what was it?
DRAM timing configuration. It's got to be that, right?
No.
No.
No?
Let's go like back. Maybe it was in like a different section.
So
Oh,
not
yeah.
infinity fabric
Yeah,
frequency
keep going
and
back.
dividers.
Probably not there.
None of those? Manual
Look in the manual CPU overclocking one.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah.
Manual CPU overclocking. Yep. CPU frequency, CPU voltage, and CPU core count control.
None of that is what we're after. Hold on. There's got to be. Why is this so hard to find? Usually it's easy to find. Hold on.
And you don't think it's going to
MSI.
be? It's just going to be setting it to enable? Maybe configuration comes up after you've enabled it. The DDR. Because in here we had DDR frequency and timings. And then
Would it even be in advanced mode?
timing
Or-
controller configuration?
He's already in advanced mode. Yeah,
I
go
know,
back
but, like-
go back into the controller config, and then what was the top line once you went in there?
Into controller config? I'm backing right out. Into the DDR and Infinity Fabric frequency timings thing?
Yes.
Going to there. Going to DDR frequency and timings or Infinity Fabric frequency and dividers.
Top one.
Got it. We got DRAM timing configuration.
Okay, go to the second one.
DRAM controller configuration.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just find the arrow key. Here we go. And let's have a look. Nope, same thing. I think we've been here before. It's Command 2T or gear down mode. Both
Okay,
on
but
auto.
what is the top one that's highlighted right now?
That's DRAM power options. Do I have options?
Uh,
Let's see if I can go to. Yeah, these are just so select between 1T or 2T mode on ADDR and Command.
It's probably not going to be it, but go into the top one for a second.
Command 2T.
No, the top one.
That is the top one.
No, it's not. Up one more.
You can't go anymore. That's as high as it goes.
Nope.
Can't-
That's
You can't.
Oh,
you
it's
can't,
delayed.
you can't hit enter on DRAM power options.
No. Oh, you can. But that's what I've just done, isn't it? Power down, enable, auto.
Okay, we're not worried about that. Okay. So you see how on the left there, not in any of that text you're looking at, how you have settings highlighted?
Yep.
We want to go into overclocking settings, which is the next one down.
I have to go eat.
You go. Go and eat. Baz needs to order some food.
Like hit tab or something, or hit left.
All right, let's see if I can do
What happens if you hit left?
I think once I exit out enough, I should be. See you, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, now move up and down.
All right, there you go.
With the
So this is
arrows.
your overclocking. Right
There
here.
you go.
Okay.
That one.
Woohoo! Lots of stuff. DRAM
Okay.
frequency.
Now we're cooking.
All
All
right.
right.
What do you like?
DRAM settings. You have
XMP.
Okay.
AXMP, yeah.
A-XMP.
You got it. And all right. And what does this one do again?
You're going to change it to one of those profiles so that
Okay.
the RAM is running at the higher frequency.
Got it. Okay. And they were both set to the same, I believe. So.
Yeah, profile 1 should be fine.
Profile 1. So there you go. So profile 1, DDR. So profile 1 says DDR4 3600 megahertz, and profile 2 is the same.
Yep.
All right. So now, do I need to save anything?
Try to hit F10. See what happens.
Let's see what happens. Disabled profile 1.
Save configuration and exit.
Why does it say disabled profile 1? We want it enabled.
It went from disabled to profile 1.
Ah, very good. Perfect.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense. It's a bit cryptic, though, isn't it?
That's true. It's one of those things you just gotta know.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Nice. Yes. All right. So now when this
just
boots
like
up,
just like how F10 is the save and exit hotkey.
Right. Like, why would you?
It would have shown you that on the screen, but I think it's cut off on the bottom.
Just to remind everyone that I'm still here, even though I was behind the boxes. Here we go.
It's just we can navigate a computer BIOS even with the overscan cut off.
We're going blind with it. All right, what do you got? Searching for signals. Come on, signals.
So hopefully it does boot with XMP mode enabled.
Nope.
Okay, that's promising.
Yeah.
All right.
Insert boot media and select a boot device and press a key.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
So
Yep.
That's it. So all they have to do is put
insert window stick.
All Noodles needs to do is put a window stick in here.
That's it.
It'll take me just a little while to find that because God knows where I put it. But once I found it,
She could get her own too. You just go on the Microsoft website and download
you can
Windows
make
on
one.
any USB stick.
Oh, really? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I have one. I made mine.
Oh, and then you
Yeah,
just use
it's just
the
gotta be it just has to be 8 gig or larger.
Oh, okay, all right. I got tons of those.
So any USB. Make sure you format the USB stick first too.
I will. I just probably just give
The the Microsoft like USB tool will do all that for you.
Okay.
Like when you go to, if you just like Google, download Windows installer, like it'll take you to that page, and then there's a tool right from Microsoft that's like it automatically formats the USB drive and does all the stuff.
And
for
you can actually use the free Windows. I used the free Windows for almost a year before I got around to buying the actual Windows.
And then why did you cave eventually?
There's just a watermark in the bottom right that's just always there.
You caved just because you were sick of the watermark?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there are places like you can look around online.
And you can't change your background, so
yeah,
a couple of things.
But you can get Windows like Windows 10 licenses for like at a discount. You just got to look around online and find.
Yeah, it's hard.
You can look. When I was looking for Windows 10 licenses, there's a bunch of them that are really cheap, but I feel like it's kind of sketchy. Like,
yeah, there's definitely some seriously.
It's probably like some person selling the same key 10 times, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's probably some of that, but there are like actual key resellers that.
What do you pay
are somewhat legitimate.
What's a good price for Windows now?
I've seen
it can be ridiculously expensive.
I've seen Windows 10 keys like on the reseller sites. I've seen them go for like $30 or $40 or something.
Well, there you go. Modified has a bunch of Windows 10 Pro keys if you need one. Wait a sec. That sounds really dodgy, Modified. £10? Jonathan MLH paid £10. That's like $20. I
don't even think 99 USD is the standard price anymore. I think it's 150 or something.
Yeah, it was quite.
Well, that's like direct from Microsoft with like a retail copy, as opposed to like an like an OEM key or whatever you would get from.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question is, I think we should look at the case just to see where the case would connect.
What do you want to do? What?
Let's just look at the case and see if there's any questions about that. Because even though we're not going to put everything in the case, I think it'd be good.
Well, the hardest part for her is going to be the front panel connectors. I think that's
right.
Mostly just the hardest part.
The right jumpers for that. That's why I thought I'd pull it out. We could have a look.
Well, it already comes with the right jumpers. Just where you plug them in. So all she needs to do is look at the instructions, and it tells you what to do.
David knows exactly where the power jumper goes now.
I know exactly where it goes. On the one.
Yes.
On the first 2 of the 4 on the ones that are facing me, depending on which way I've spun the thing. So I'm going to shut this down then.
Yes.
Do I have to worry about how do I shut it down then? No, because nothing.
I would do it just by the switch on the power supply.
Just kill the power. Okay. Because I think what I'll do is I'll bring up the. There we go. Oh, look at that, and the LEDs slowly fade. I think what I'll do is I'll bring up the case so we can have a look at it and just see if there's any sort of gotchas, right?
Well, probably best to keep it in the box for her, no?
Well, too late. I already took it. We did this on the other stream.
So that's a mighty fancy soldering iron you got back there, David.
Isn't it nice? It's a little soldering station. Oh my god. It's
Yeah.
like a lifesaver. I love it.
Oh, you want to peel off the plastic for her?
No, don't peel that. That is evil. That is the
It's
evil
the
Lord Chunky.
It's the best part of building the
I
computer.
know. That's why she needs to be able to do it.
I'll come over there. I'll give you $5 to let me do it.
$5.
Yeah.
Make it 500. Now we're talking.
No. 5. Take it or leave it. $5 and a Windows installer.
Oh, and a Windows installer? And then
Yeah.
you get to take the plastic off?
Yeah.
What's it? You know,
And then keep it to $5.
Aha! COVID.
So just a Windows installer.
It's COVID. You're not allowed. All right,
What did you
take
put
it
on the
off.
porch? I just peel it off
I just want to see. If
and
there's
put a
any-
Windows key in your mailbox.
You know that. Yeah, I'll just leave it out on the front porch so you can just take the. Take the.
Yeah,
peel-
take
the
the
plastic off.
plastic off. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to have a quick look in here and see what we need. Okay, so. No idea what that is. Are these power cables? Are these? No, these are just going to be. Okay, so can you see?
That's
you
for
can't
the
see it,
fan.
Can you? Hang on a second.
Oh, that's for the front panel audio.
Ah.
And there's also yeah, it's probably just USB. I see. Yeah, it's the blue in the back right there.
The USB one is going to be a beefier one. It's not going to be the.
It's
the
like really
910.
blue and chunky. So.
Yeah.
All right. So blue and chunky. That seems blue and chunky to me.
That's
Yeah.
USB 3,
Okay, so that's going to the USB.
which is right next to the thing you hotwired.
Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah, you don't even don't bother plugging it in. Just gonna unplug it.
Got it. Okay, no, just so I can see it. Okay, so that's good. That makes sense. Then I've
Yep.
got this one that is labeled nothing.
Should be audio.
HD audio. You've done this before, Alan. Okay.
Not once or
HD
twice.
Audio. So that's pretty obvious. Is there anything else? I guess a bunch of fans.
Yeah, fan.
Big fan headers.
But they want them all to. What are they doing with these? They're
And then
wired
there's
to the
power.
back for some reason. Okay, let me see.
Sometimes multiple USBs.
What was that?
Well, there's 2 USBs off of that single connector,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, so that should be
usually
it.
cases only have 2 USB 3s. So, well, he's pulling the back too.
I'm pulling the back, but I can't figure out
I like the
why.
way that case looks. It's nice.
It's a really nice case, I gotta say. Why is it not coming out though?
So I think there's like 3 fans in the front of that guy, right?
Yep.
The question is, are they all like on their own cable, or
this is what
are
I'm
they
trying to
3
figure out, but
individual
of course,
plugs?
With this cover on, I can't.
They should be on their own, like, you know,
Oh, I've done it.
harness
There
or something.
we go. Let me flip this around so you can see what's going on. Okay. So they're connected, but I couldn't get to the end of them because I think they've been carefully packaged away behind this wall of
So-
beautiful.
That screw is going to come all the way out, probably.
Which one?
Oh,
No,
Is
they're
it
actually they're
captured?
cool. They're like non-lose them.
yeah, they're
screws.
captured.
They're great.
Okay.
I love them. Which are fantastic because the rest of them are in my pocket because otherwise I'll forget. Okay,
Yep.
so looking in here, I'm going to undo my graphics card so we can spin it. And now I can spin it. Nope, because I've got power still attached. So I'm going to take that out too. I'm going to also unplug that because I have a nasty tendency of spilling coffees on them. Okay. All right. So.
Now, if you're just trying to clear the table, you should just be able to grab the power supply and the motherboard box at the same time now.
Yes. But I think it's
Well,
we can see enough in there. All
Yeah.
right. So I've got a bunch of connectors.
look at the integrated cable ties.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, so
Be great.
so that is a SATA power connector, which I was barely able to make out from you holding it briefly.
that one here.
Yeah, that is a SATA power connector. There is no
Don't need
SATA
that.
there,
Don't-
but it's using it's using
Oh.
that to power the fans.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it's using SATA to power the fans.
Really?
Yes.
How do you know?
And
I
that?
guess that's like. So is there like a fan hub in there?
And there is a fan connector that you also were just holding, David.
Mhm.
How many wires are going into that fan? Not the SATA power one, but the.
Yeah,
Oh, what do you got?
I got 4.
So 4 pins? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a 4-pin connector, but there's only one of them, or is there 3?
There's like a ton of them. There's a 3-pin, And there's.
But those are all like connected into each other, right?
Yes, the rest of them are all connected in. There wasn't something at the bottom here that is also connected in. Everything's sort of wired in, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's one more at the bottom. Another 4-1 at the bottom.
That's not plugged into something.
It's not plugged in, yeah. Oh, and a 2-1.
Interesting.
Oh, and a bunch. What are all these? Holy moly!
Yeah, you're gonna want to look. You're gonna want to look at the manual for that.
Yeah, because I got the RGBs as well.
What is RGB?
Yeah, that's the RGB header. Okay.
So I'll need to plug those in too. That's
Why
the
are we-
unicorn payment for those.
Well, I don't know. Does that motherboard have an RGB header output? It might not.
Probably does. It's MSI. For gamers. It has to have RGB.
True, but it's just a B450 board. It might not.
I don't see it. I don't see one.
Either way, you never know. The case might have come with some controller or something to
Yeah.
just
I'll
make
have a
something
look.
happen.
Well, there's the box is.
Because if it has SATA power, that's clearly powering up something. There's probably some extra controller built into the case.
Okay, I'm looking.
Like it might light up the fans with some default pattern without even getting a signal from anything else.
Right. It's possible I've already put the manuals in my manual section.
Yeah, actually, what case is that so I can look at the manual?
It's a Fantech. I'll tell you in a second. Let me just get this first, because I may have exactly what we need here. Did it not come with it? I don't. It may not have come with a. It may not have come with instructions. It may just want you to download stuff. It's a Fantech. Let me give you the number. Eclipse P400.
Say that again.
Eclipse P400.
P400.
This is so great. Someone else looks everything up. It's just so much easier, isn't it?
You know. Manual. User's manual. P400, not P400S.
Nope, just P400.
Okay.
What does the S do? Now I want the S.
I don't know.
Something great, I'm sure.
I bet you I can find out by looking in the manual. Let me see here.
Yeah, do me a favor. Could you send me the link to that too when you do find it?
Yes. I will put it in the chat thingy.
So this is saying motherboard DRGB 3-pin. Yeah, I don't see that configuration, but
Yeah, that's the RGB signal out. All right, so there's power LED. 12-volt input is the SATA power connector. Okay,
I found
that
the
makes
reset
sense.
switch. I know where that goes.
Do you?
Isn't that
It's
the one
different
we
from
just
the
did?
power switch.
Isn't that the one we
The
just
reset
did?
switch. No, the reset switch is in a different place than the power switch. It's,
Oh, okay,
it's a
then I'm
different
going with
set
the
of
power
pins.
switch then. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I have to go for dinner now.
Oh
But
man, just when we were getting to the boring part. All right, have a good dinner. What time
alright,
is it?
thank you.
Okay, so the P400S has extra fan control.
What kind of fan control does it allow you to have?
Like, I think it just has an extra fan controller built in. Hold on. Let's see. There's fans. There's 3 fan. There's what? Is there
Well,
3
maybe
fans in the
there's
front?
Does this come off?
Are there any fans in the top on that case already, or
There-
no?
I don't think so. Does this just come off? No.
But there are 3 fans on the front.
There are 3 fans in the front, and I don't see any LEDs in them, unless they're built into the.
They might be LED strips. Might just be built into the case. There might not be LED lit fans.
Ah. I see, or maybe they're in the hub. I don't know. We'll see. Right, okay.
I'm looking. Okay, so there's the audio connector. There's a USB 3 connector.
Yep.
There's the RGB LED for interior lighting.
Is that how that was? Can I get that backwards?
Although
Mhm.
this makes it seem like the cable is there, but the lighting is not,
Ah,
which
well,
seems
that's possible, right?
odd.
So in other words, if you were to buy the extra vomit, the extra unicorn vomit, then you've got a place.
Yeah, but I would have thought I would have thought that, like, why would you include the cable if not? Weird.
I mean, I'm sure I have controllers that I could get.
Yeah, LED color control. Okay, P400S has the 3-speed fan controller. So if that's not the S model, that probably means that those fans are just regular fans with regular fan headers.
Okay. Which they should
meaning,
have. I mean, they'll. I'm sure they have regular.
Well, if they're regular fan connectors, just like what you had on the CPU fan. So if you see like 3 of those connectors there, 1 for each fan, then
that may be the way we're going.
Well, but I'm not sure there's 3 additional fan headers on that motherboard. Is the catch.
Well, you can split them though, can't you?
Not without a splitter.
I'm sure I've got splitters. I've got so much crap hanging around.
I don't know if you got fan header splitters.
No, I'll have a look.
It's like the screw thing.
It is?
All right, what board was that again? MSI B...
MSI B450M Pro VDH Max. I don't think it has any LED action happening on it.
No, I doubt it has an LED driver.
Oh, wait a sec. I think I found
So
it.
does Pro VDH Max?
JRGB. That's what I want, isn't it?
Hold on.
Oh, not a JRGB. I got a DRGB 3-pin. I've got
B450M Pro... What? M2
Pro
Max?
VDH Max.
Oh, okay. VDH Max. Go there. We'll go to the support. We will go to the manual.
Yeah, there's definitely something for RGB here, but it may not be.
Why is this manual 177 pages?
Because it may have unicorn vomit in it. There's a whole lot of folklore and stuff.
I'm looking.
There's a 12 and a 5 volt don't mix. Yeah, good point, Fat.
Yes. JRGB1, yes, it does have the connector.
It does.
But we don't know if the case has the lights, because the instruction manual for the case is kind of making it sound like it doesn't have anything on the other end of that cable.
I thought it did. When I ordered it, I thought I saw lights on it, although whether that means anything, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, the manual is making it a bit cryptic, so it could very well have them.
Right. It seems,
now,
as you say, it seems weird for the... Okay, but the problem is that this is a 3-in pin cable, and I have a 4-pin.
The cable from the case is 3?
Yeah, the RGB cable for the case is a 3-pin. So it's basically the 4-pin with one of the pins blocked out.
Well, that might still work.
I mean, there's no way to physically get it onto the board, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying like it intentionally will not let you.
Yeah, it's like it's got a special. I don't know if you can actually. Can you see that close enough?
Hold on, I'm looking at the manual for this thing to try to see if they're saying what kind of cable it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think this is this may be what Fat Docs was talking about. Was it Fat Docs? Is that who you guys said it? Yeah.
JRGB. What does it say for this cable here?
Here, let me put some light on it.
I mean, in the manual at least, the RGB LED cable looks as if it's a 4-wire cable.
No, Hazaz's got to go. Hazaz's got to go. She's going to pull everything off the table. All right. No, good. We're good. It's up and running. We're just going through what to do with the case. Whether we should. It doesn't see much point in us putting it in the case and then having to pull it all out again and put it back in for her. But I just wanted to make sure that I knew.
Did it fit?
Somewhat. I just want to make sure that I knew, and by that I mean Alan, knows that how to do it. So that when it comes for her building it, she'll be able to, do the same.
Cool.
I think I'll get her, though, Alan, I might as well get her to build the same thing, do the same thing as us. Build it on the box, and then move it to the case, knowing that everything's working properly.
We already know. We already did that step, though.
I know, but then she'll know it's working, and it's just procedure for her. And she doesn't have to worry about screwing it up. Because my concern is that if she screws something up with the case, which is easy to do, I've discovered, then she'll know that it was already working fine the way she had it set up. And also she'll learn the parts as well as she does it. Although I'm not taking the CPU off, forget it. That Wraith is stuck down good. And I think the memory's probably fine too.
Yeah, so I'm looking at RGB LED. So the wire from the case that's meant for the LEDs should just say RGB LED strip on it with a little label.
Yes. But it says MB, I'm assuming motherboard, D RGB 3-pin.
Okay, but there might be another connector. Like you might not need to use that one.
Oh, that's possible. I hadn't thought of that. Was like, it could be
right.
Although none of them are just flat like that. Oh, LED, HD. No, HD LED. Now it's done that one's different.
That's a different.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's just to let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. What else have I got here? Nope, that's that. All right. Well, we'll have to just figure it out. I guess there's no. I don't see anything. What's that? What's that? Wait. Nope, another 3-pin. Wait a second. So there's another 3-pin adapter, another DRGB fan here. Wow, that is weird. Okay, I'll have to look at the manual too. It might be easier for me to look at the manual looking at the actual box itself.
Yeah, the manual is not a lot of help.
Is it not?
On this one?
Damn it.
It's not great. Those might just be fan connectors, just the regular fan connectors. Are those just 3-pin fan?
No, they're definitely they say RGB on them. Like the regular ones are just the ugly little plastic ones with the clips, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I think when it comes to that, I think I'll have a look. I'll have a look at the manual in comparison with this because it might be easier to do the two together. Well, I guess I could just do it now, couldn't I? I'm just getting hungry. What time is it? It's only 5:30. I can't be hungry yet. That's not allowed. All right, let me do this then. Okay. Go over here and see. All right, you put the link in, right?
Which one?
For the manual?
For the fan text? Yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Okay, here we go.
It's on page 5.
All right. Boy, they're pretty.
Or correction, page 10, section 5.
All right. Ooh, will it click to it if I go? It's not a smart PDF, huh? No such luck? All right.
I don't know. I don't think it's that smart.
Connections. Okay, so is the audio, power, I see, okay. Power LED. Why is it called a power LED, the big one? That seems weird, doesn't it?
No, that's the power, that's literally the power LED, like for when the system's on.
Well, no, it's this big one here.
The SATA power connector?
This thing here. Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
Hold on, let me come back.
It's panel. It's the panel, it says.
Yeah, panel.
Okay.
Hold on, let me look at what you're looking at.
Yeah, the SATA one is that nice little is the USB 3 one, isn't it? No, that's the wrong one. Never mind. Is there two of those? Where's that going? I've got
the one that's blue is the USB 3.
Yes, got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one you're holding right now, or is the SATA power connector that's labeled as well. That section is just called like power LED or whatever.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's oddly okay, but there's also an RGB LED strip.
Yes.
I don't see that. Interesting. I don't see that one.
But if you read the wording, that's what's cryptic. Read the wording underneath that
connects
in the manual there.
Vantex multicolor LED strip for interior lighting. PH LED KT M1 not included. Okay, so we don't care about that.
Yeah, it sounds like neither
splitter. Up to 10 fans using Y splitters. Okay, that are not included. This is great. Huh. That is really odd. They're calling this the SATA that you were talking about. They're calling that the panel.
Yeah, so that it might have some lighting,
Hmm.
but it might be generic lighting that just needs some power to light up.
Right.
Right. Now, in order to plug that in, you're going to have to use one of the cables that came with that modular power supply that has the appropriate connector.
Oh, right. Okay.
To give that power. Just FYI, that's probably the only extra cable you're going to have to add to that power supply.
Okay. Well, I got plenty.
Just to feed that.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Okay.
You don't have to do it right now, but just, note to self.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I will document each one of these cables so that when it comes to her doing the build, I could say, what does it say? We can look at it and go, hey, there you go. Yeah. If you're still patient enough to be around for that.
Now about the fans, what I would say is, since you have everything open there on the case, I would just look around, like walk around it the other way to where the fans are, so you can see them from like the inside out.
Right.
You'll see wires coming off of the fans, and just kind of like follow them, see where they're going. Are they tying together into something, or are they just kind of sticking out somewhere?
Let me just put my headlight on brighter. It seems to be getting a little low, my headlight. All right, 1. So 1, 2, and 3. Why do I have 4? What's going on? Why do I have 4 cables coming out of there?
Because this is not the model with the fan controller, but we don't know if that means that the fans are just not powered at all. Like they might still be powered.
Yeah, they're all these cables. These are all the cables. These little thin. Can you see them under?
Okay.
Little thin.
Keep following.
Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Pulling.
Oh, those are just the connectors?
Yeah, it's the 3 connector. Yeah, they're connected.
That's a fan connector. That's a 3-pin fan connector then.
Okay. I don't know.
It says RGB fan, but maybe that's just because the fan has RGB lights on it, but that's the...
But all of our fan adapters have 4 cables.
You don't have to use the 4. If you can plug a 3-pin fan connector into a 4-pin...
Not the way this is configured.
Oh, I need to see what it looks like is the problem.
It's hard to see. Let me see if I can do this.
Okay, let me enhance. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's RGB.
Right.
But what else is there? Is that it? That's the only connector on the end of that cable? Like there has to be other cables coming from the fans.
Yeah. I mean, some of the other fans are getting... wait a sec. Maybe that's what the 4th... So that's what the 4th cable is. The 4th cable is the RGB. The 3 cables are the power, which are just the regular ones like this.
Okay, gotcha.
That makes sense.
So there's a... Yeah, that's a regular 4-pin fan header.
Yeah, so that's what's coming off them all. So they all have regular headers plus an RGB as well. And
all right,
the RGB just has nowhere to plug in right now.
So here's the rub. I'm also looking at the manual for that motherboard. And the motherboard only has 2 extra fan headers on it.
Okay. Well, let me see if I've
got... It's not the end of the world. You can plug 2 out of the 3 fans in. That's not...
Right. As I say, I have got so many cables. In fact, I even have some... I'll have a look. All right, I'll do a little hunt for that stuff.
So there is a System Fan 1 and System Fan 2 header on that board.
Right.
System Fan 2 is further down from the USB 3 connector. It's on that same edge. But System Fan 1 is actually kind of in between the CPU and the graphics slot, but towards you.
Yep, see it. I got System Fan 1 just here. I don't know if you can see it from above, right in there.
Yeah.
This again.
Yeah, that's Fan 1. Fan 2 is the bottom,
right there.
Next to the front panel audio connector.
System Fan 2, right there. Here you go.
Yeah.
And then this is what's frustrating is because there's obviously an RGB. I wonder if we need some kind of an adapter to adapt whatever the...
well, that's a JRGB connector is the thing, which is different.
But I wonder if there's a way, there's like some kind of an adapter we can get that would allow us to change that.
I don't know. I don't mess with the unicorn vomit that much.
I know. That's me. The unicorn vomit is all new to me too, basically, right? The only unicorn vomit we put in ours was I put a couple of additional LED strips in. That was all.
Yeah. So the JRGB connector is meant for an LED strip,
Right.
but that does not seem to be the same as what is meant for that wire.
Very good. I have a ton.
But again, I don't get it, because in the manual for the case, like, they're showing that connector, but then they're like, not included, not included. Like, so what?
So Jonathan
maybe
the
it's
motherboard is analog RGB, and the case is digital RGB.
I have a suspicion the case lighting is just going to turn on anyway.
Yeah, me too.
You just won't be able to control it from the motherboard.
I prefer it when he talks about Raspberry Pi instead of vomit. Yes, good point. All right, so okay, well, yeah, I think we'll just. Is there any way just to plug in? Can I just plug in the case a little bit? A little bit of plug.
Yeah, you can get the. You're going to need a SATA power cable out of the power supply box.
Okay. Which is over here. It also came with something else too, didn't it? There's a SATA cable with something else. This little baby right here. With a USB connector. Is that it? No, that's not it.
Those are SATA cables.
Are they?
Not power.
But
Those are
not
SATA
power.
data cables.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, what do I got here?
I think you. Yeah, there you go. I think that's your power supply stuff, right?
I wonder if I have any extra ones. I might have an extra cable here anyways. Wait a second. God,
I don't think any of those are SATA.
No, SATA's on the side. Right. We said that was a separate one anyway, didn't we? All right.
Yep.
Let me do this. Come on, magic knife. Here we go. Here we go. All right. This is good because I can actually have this on there too for. How am I attaching this? Is that? Wait a second.
One of them is going to plug into the power supply.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find the right.
I don't think that's it. That's Molex.
Yeah, that's the wrong.
Is that 4 pins?
Yeah.
On those? Yeah, it's Molex.
That's not helping me either. And is that?
It's going to be the last one.
Are they all?
It's got to be one of them.
What do you think? Yes. Is that?
Yeah, that one.
I guess it's that one. Is there an L to tell me which ones to go? Ah, there you go. So the L will tell me which way to put it in the right way. All right, good. Is there a better? Are they both exactly the same? Is there one that only has one? No.
Not usually.
Okay, and it's plugging into one of those, so I just need that. All right. All this modular stuff. There's still lots of extra cable. There's no way to like pull out some of the cables. Like you can't slice and dice it somehow.
You could. You need special. Well, you don't need special tools, but.
So I would take this. I would plug this into my SATA Molex. Can we see that at all? Let's sort of see what's going on there. We'll take this. I'm going to plug this in over here. There we go. And then I'm going to plug that in over here. Nope, not that one. This one. The nice L that tells me which way to put it. Can everyone see that? Sort of. Not really.
Really hard to see. It's black on black.
I know, it really, isn't it? If only we had a light. That light is getting really dim.
Your headlamp is dying.
My headlamp's dying. So am I, though. I'm getting that low food. I'm getting that McKay. I'm feeling McKay. I start feeling McKay,
dear.
It means I'm hungry. All right, that is attached. We're doing sushi tonight too, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so that's plugged in. That is.
You could take like one of the fans if there's enough length on the cable. You could plug that into the motherboard. Just for the sake of seeing one of the fans spin. Yeah, good luck. I know, right? Some of them have to be longer than that.
I think they must be, right? Down here we go. What's this little baby right here? Is this a fan? Come on, tell me you're a fan. Everyone's a fan. Nope, those aren't fans. Seriously? They're all way up there.
Are they all that short?
They're all like bunched up here. You know what? Maybe they're just. Maybe I need to undo the Velcro, Alan.
I mean, maybe.
You think? You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
That's fine.
So there's a fan that is very short. That is another very short fan. These are got. Oh look, there's a fan. There's a splitter.
What?
There's a splitter.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So
there is a splitter. So all the fans are plugged into this. So then there just should be one fan, like 4-pin fan connector.
What the heck? Then yeah, you think?
Right?
Yeah, I don't
coming off of that splitter.
I don't see it. Oh, what's that? Right there. Is it maybe this one? Oh, okay, I've got one. Yes, I've got one coming off here right now.
No, you can pull it out from underneath
two. How many?
Two?
They're both the same. Okay, all right. Let me just get rid of this.
It doesn't make sense. You shouldn't have multiple because I'm looking right at that harness and it's got like multiple fan connector. Unless each one of those is just an extension.
Well, that's what if I'm gonna undo it all, so I could just see all the cables because this is getting nuts. Where I'm like guessing and look at that. Now my cable management nightmare begins. Okay, so I've got 1, 2 RGB things stuck together for some reason. I guess that's the. Okay, so these are the I'm guessing the 3 RGBs stuck together here.
Okay, so that's what is splitting off to the 3 fans from one connector. Got it. Now there's going to be 3 other wires, which are the actual ones that are powering the fans, not the RGBs on the fans.
1, 2. Be the same. Yep, 2 and.
You should have 3 of the same.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that the third one? Is that?
And they should look like 4-pin fan connectors, basically.
I'm looking. Go through.
Man, what a mess.
It really is. I've already made a mess of it. That's amazing. Okay. Nope. I got 2. I can't find the third. Where's the third? Where's this guy? Nope. How weird. Well, then maybe that's split somewhere. 1.
It might.
1, 2.
Okay, and all the rest are RGB stuff?
It seems to be. How's this?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Looks like
Maybe there's a splitter built in and there's only 2.
What is this guy? Well, it looks like one of them is.
Well, I'll tell you what, David, there's one way to find out.
Plug them in. I got it.
Plug
3.
those 2 in.
It's tucked back.
Oh,
here.
you got 3.
Okay, I got 3.
Okay.
One of them's just really short compared to the other ones. I guess it's
probably because it's probably because it's the one that's all the way on the bottom.
Yeah. Of course, it's going to be easy to get to them. Of course, once they're in the case. Okay, you're
well,
back.
you might, depending on where the motherboard is sitting relative to where your connectors are and where those cables have to reach, you might have to just completely unroute them from how the case maker has routed them.
Yeah.
You know, you might not even go through the back because the headers are on the front anyway, so you might just have to like go straight to it.
Well, I'm gonna plug in our system fans. Is that right?
I just found the key I knocked off my keyboard because
Nice.
I accidentally knocked off the key and I didn't know where it went. I knew it hit my chair, but it was legit. It was right in the crack of my chair.
How do people do that? Baz is always losing keys from keyboards. Okay, there's that. And what did we say the other was? It was too far away.
It's on your right towards you. Yeah, that's might not reach. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it, and I got very scared. I'm like, where is it?
I don't think it's worth. Let me see. No, not gonna make it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Look at my cable management already. It's already a nightmare. Can I reach it? Oh, I can't. No, can't quite. How about this one? System fan 2. Let's just go this one. All right. Okay, so I've got 2 of those plugged in. Every cable known to man hanging over the edge.
Okay, make sure none of them are sticking in any fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm a wee bit worried about. Okay, so that's plugged in. That's plugged into my safe.
How's the computer coming in?
Oh, great. We're just doing the cable management. Alan's making a big mess of it, though.
I am.
Oh, you finished it up, but now you just need to try to figure out how to get it in?
We're just looking at all the cables, all the joyful cable bliss that comes with this case. This is, I've got to say, probably my most hated part, because I'm always like, I don't care about the cable stuff, but you know, I guess we have to. If I do that, how does this work? Will that hold it out of the way if I just do like this? That'll hold it out of the way. Okay, that's out of the way. That's out of the way. That's out of the way. That is totally not out of the way. That's out of the way. That's
okay. GPU fans clear.
Yeah, just make sure the GPU's still in its slot. Everything's there. Okay.
Yep.
Wish me luck.
You got to plug your power supply back in.
I'm gonna do that. We're not worried about booting up, so I don't need the HDMI.
Right. Yeah, we just want to see the stuff light up.
We just want to see the unicorn vomit, if there is any.
Yeah.
I have a new thing that we should chat about here.
Okay. Not before I
Making
eat.
money through games like Rust.
You can make money?
Because in this game, you can find skins.
Yeah.
And you can pay them, and then you can sell it on Steam for people to buy those skins.
That's cool. Wait a second. Should I put why don't I put the power button, attach the power button and test that too while I'm at it?
Reach.
Well, do you think it'll reach you? That's true.
Might not reach. If not, then you'll have to be old school.
Yeah, I know how to do it now. Kicking it old school. What's this one? Reset? Nope. What's this one here? It's a pretty good cable. So, okay.
Gotta be one of them.
Power SW, which I'm guessing is switch, and HD. I'm looking.
Power switch and and the hard drive LED.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's the light, right?
Where are you looking?
Oh, just on the. It's written on the.
Oh, they were both together. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You only need the power switch one though.
Yeah, but what? So it's just jumper.
It's just the same place where you put the screwdriver.
Right.
Same 2 pins.
Okay. I'm just gonna do this here. Oh God, I can't. I need my light's gone dead and I can't see a freaking thing. All right, I'm going blind here. Okay, so power switch is going on those two right there. Is that right? Have I got that? Okay. All right. Actually, I'm gonna put, just because the HD one's hanging in the way, I'm gonna do that too. All right. All lined up. Okay. All right. So technically, at this point, I should be able to press the power button, and this should leap into life.
Fingers crossed.
With vim and vigor. All right, what's a good angle on it? And then I want to see good angle for if it catches fire.
Did you turn the power switch back on the power supply when you plugged it back in?
Good question. Probably not, because I don't see a light on it. There, it's on now. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing has happened. So I'm now going to press the power switch, as they say on the motherboard. Oh. Dude.
Unicorn vomit.
Oh my God. Then there is pretty.
And 2 out of 3 fans are spinning, as expected.
Right. Look.
Why is the last one not spinning?
Why is it?
There's only 2 more fan hitters on the motherboard.
What's going on with these guys here? Why is like one spinning and then not the other one? It like started
it's
and
not.
stopped.
Yeah, they do. That's normal.
Okay, so they're not going all the time.
No, they don't go unless the card actually
I
heats up.
just noticed this unicorn vomit on that too. This is actually going to look pretty decent whenever she figures out how to actually configure the unicorn vomit to do what she wants.
So I do wonder if that case,
yeah,
somewhere that came with it, might have included a couple of adapters to just power the fans without a fan header.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
I'm surprised. I looked in the case. I couldn't see anything. But I was also
Sometimes there's a little box of goodies.
Oh, there is a box.
Like there should have been a little box of screws and other stuff.
There is. It's in the. I remember that. It's
in there.
It's in here. It's tucked away in the hard drive thing. Maybe I should turn things off.
You might want to shut it off.
All right, it's off. It's also unplugged again. Yeah, it's true. Before I reach my hand into the spinning fans?
Yes, yes.
Okay, here we go. So I'm giving birth to a small amount of. Okay, here we go. Oh, come
Get it.
Careful.
There you go. Got it. Accessory box. Dun dun dun. Okay, great.
Okay, what do we got?
Let's see.
In the undocumented, in the manual accessory box.
Okay, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Come on, come on. Splitter, splitter, adapter,
Yeah.
splitter, adapter, splitter, adapter,
I hope.
splitter, adapter. Just a bunch of screws.
Just screws?
Stupid, stinky screws.
Uh,
And twist ties. Let's have a look. See if it says anything about this. All right. Well, Fantex, come on. All right. I better. Maybe there's a way of getting some kind of adapter for this thing. Oh, look.
yeah, you could just get a 4-pin like fan splitter, like, and it won't stop you from using the system. Just one of the fans won't be spinning.
Oh, and there's a mode. I see. So you can change the lighting controls using the mode setting.
Where is that?
I don't know. Let's see. Where's the mode? Is there a mode button?
Oh.
You
You sure that's not something that's applies to the S model of the case and not the?
That is possible. In the
Might be.
P400AD model, press and hold the mode button.
What is that? Anno Domini or whatever?
Yeah. What does that mean again?
AD. Is it BC and AD? Is that how this works?
That's it. Yeah, I think that's. You can pay extra for that if you want a breathing mode. I don't.
Yes.
Unless, what are these?
For the case that was made 400 years later.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they first came up with it, because of the unicorn helmet. Oh, look at this. Okay, cable connection.
Here you go, David. This is an interesting. I've had my aunt harassing me since mid-December
Really?
because she sent me a Christmas card
Yeah.
and she wanted to make sure it got to me.
Yeah.
And you've heard the things about the U.S. Postal Service being a little weird this year, right?
Yep.
My wife has literally just handed me the card. It is postmarked December 17th.
Oh man. We've had a few. We've had a few really.
It was sent to me from Florida. We're not that far away from Florida.
Well, you saw how long it took them to figure out the votes.
Oh God. Yes.
Reset?
Okay. What was I doing here?
I
Oh yeah,
see.
I was
So
gonna
all
look you
these
up
little
a.
button things along the bottom, which aren't actually buttons, are I guess places that you would cut the hole for the buttons if you were delivering someone a fancy case. Look, I think this will still. Yeah, maybe not. Okay. Well, it's Amazon. I can always send it back and go for the S.
What's that?
The
Oh
case.
no, I mean it's. Well,
It's
I mean,
pretty,
it's still lit
I
up.
think, honestly, I think it's going to be enough, and I'm sure that I'll go check out Fantex, and maybe there's like a couple of adapters I can pick up.
well, no, you can get a splitters on Amazon. Like
Or
that's.
splitters, yeah. I mean, I'm not so worried about the splitters. I'm more worried about the RGB. It would just be nice to be able to run the RGB through the motherboard, because then she could sort of do some tweaking and customizing. And I don't know about you, but that's the kind of
True.
stuff I love.
I do wonder, like, what. I mean, maybe I need to study this unicorn vomit stuff a little more because I'm baffled by that connector.
Well, I think one of
And
them's
why
12
it's
volts,
not
and
as-
one of them's 5 volts.
No, not that.
Oh.
The other connector, the RGB. What did it say on it? The one that's attached to the case that has the
It's
blocked
digital,
off pin.
digital RGB. So I'm guessing DRGB.
Oh, that's okay. That's why.
So in other words, I'm guessing that some of it's going to be addressable, and some of it's just on or off different colors, right? I'm guessing. Is that something like that?
Yeah. So the other one I think is what ARGB. Let me look at the
There's
board thing.
JRGB and DRGB.
Or JRGB.
Why J? Just RGB?
No, I don't know what the J is for in that one.
Anyone know in the chat?
Oh, it's just because those are
Oh, I see. Poor people.
no, they're all. It's J everything on that board. It's JLPT, JCOM,
Oh, I
JAUD.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just JRGB, and it just
Alright.
happens to be analog.
Damn it! So I can't just snap off a pin conveniently
No.
and put it on there.
No.
It's RGB strip. Yeah. Okay. So the RGB strips are 12 volts, right? Is that right? I think. Is that they're generally they're.
I'm looking.
Oh, thank you, Frackalope. And anybody else who's subscribed, by the way, thank you very much. And also, my God, Digraphin, thank you for the bits, and anyone else who said bits, because the reality is I have not been paying attention, because I've been too busy building Think Noodles' PC. We did it! Anyways, look, the point being,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
There's supposed to be some fancy controller thing.
I'll have a look. J, Jumper. Thank you, Leo. It's J for Jumper. Look at this. See? It's always about the learning. All right, Jane came down to ask how I was doing, which means I should probably be going up and ordering sushi. And given that I've done 4 hours of this and sucked at least 3 of those hours out of your life, I should probably let you go. David, I
was technically doing work while listening for most of that.
They're saying there should be a. I don't know that there should be. I think that
there
should be if you bought the fancy one. Who's saying that?
But here's the thing, though. It might just be that you can just get that controller separately.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'll have a look and see if Fantex does that. No, I hear what you're saying, Harklight, but I think it's a different model that has that. I don't see. Look, I could be wrong. I don't. There's nowhere else for them to have put it, and there's nothing in the instructions about a controller, right? Other than
it mentions it, but with an asterisk, and it says it was the other model.
Yeah, that's what I got from it too. Yeah, I think it's I think we've got RGB fans, but we don't necessarily have the programmable ones. But that doesn't stop us from spending more money. Yoicks. Look, the reality is she's got a kick-ass little keyboard. This keyboard is beautiful, I gotta say.
I mean, if that cable is there, I have a feeling if you sent the appropriate signal, it would have some control over those things.
Right.
I just, you know.
In fact, I mean, there's probably. You could probably just hook it up to an Arduino.
But that motherboard, maybe. But that motherboard doesn't have a digital RGB controller output. It has an analog one. So.
Right. This motherboard.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, so I'll put an Arduino in. And then, I'll put an Arduino with a Wi-Fi adapter that she connects to her Wi-Fi at home. And then I can randomly turn off or change the color of her computer while she's playing with it. What about that? Arduino should work, but you're gonna have to do some work. Oh, Jonathan MLH, are you saying that I can't do the work? I don't lean on that; it'll fall over. Yeah, I'm willing to do the work, Jonathan MLH. You know the next build, Jonathan, is the CNC. That's got to be on my next build.
Weren't you controlling a digital RGB LED strip for your Stargate thing?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's basically the same setup. I might have broken it, but it's not. That's not the point, though.
You broke it?
I might have broken it a little. Yeah, that's just 3. Yeah, this would probably work actually.
I put a link in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
That might have some merit.
Yeah, I think I'll unplug the motherboard and give this a go, because I think an Arduino would totally do that. And it would do things that other people's computers couldn't do. Like be controlled by me from afar, freak her out at night while the computer comes on.
Great.
Actually, more likely to just freak out her family more than anything else, because it's going to be in the living room. So, Alan, thank you so much. I should wrap this up because I can almost taste the sushi.
Yes, I smell the sure to be amazing dinner that my wife is currently preparing.
See, now normally we've done the preparation all week. Just to be very fair, I've been cooking I've been slaving away in the kitchen for hours. We had a beautiful risotto last night that we had for lunch. Amazing. But do you like cooking, Al? Are you one of these cooking people?
I am not nearly as good as my wife.
No, neither am I. But my wife is also busy sometimes, so I find that I've sort of picked up the slack a bit on it, which is kind of fun.
I only know pasta dishes, mac and cheese, and sous vide steak.
Ooh, sous vide. Is that the one you have to put it in the plastic and then heat it to a certain?
Yep.
Doesn't the plastic do isn't that weird?
You braise it with a torch after.
So interesting. So
you can either hot skillet braise it or just use a torch.
And that's just to give you that nice little burnt outside.
Yeah, because otherwise, sous vide is so good at cooking it to the exact same temperature all the way through that if you take it out of the sous vide, it looks like the middle on the outside.
Right. Which kind of looks gross.
So,
right.
so it's. I mean, it'll still taste good, but it won't be like caramelized at all. So you have to just hit it with some heat on the outside.
Jonathan MLH makes a really good point. Thank you, Jonathan. Put the Arduino inside the PC, connect it to a USB port, and the PC can then control its own LEDs.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
But I will say, they do just make controllers for that.
Oh, wait a second. Harklight says he's got a spare one. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, a spare...
Harklight, if you got a spare one, that's fantastic. I still may try out this Arduino thing anyways, because I like the idea.
There you go.
One of the whole points of this thing is not for me to build a PC, because you know I'm good at that. It's for the bandits to get into this stuff. Like when I first started this, the whole point was that, like, my son included, kids didn't know you could do this. Like, these were black boxes that played games, you know what I mean? And when they broke, you threw them out and you got a new one. And I was like, why, you nuts? You know, so I started bringing in all these old computers for them to pull apart, and then of course then they want to start building them as well. So so that was sort of the idea, you know. It's the hope is that it can get people. Look, I don't think that building a PC is particularly like a life skill that we're all going to need forever or anything like that. But I do think that it gives you a certain kind of well, first off, there's a pride in the fact that you built it.
Yeah.
I mean, and also you have an innate understanding of when things go wrong. You go like, okay, when it says like when you don't see the AMD CPU show up in the post boot, you know, she's gonna know what that means, which I think is valuable going forward. So, anyways, that's the idea. Does David realize his audio is really low? I do, because I'm so far away from the mic. Sorry, I'm very far away from the microphone. Wait a second.
You need a compressor.
How's that? Is that better? You like that? Is that better?
What are you doing? NPR?
I'm doing a little ASMR NPR. Actually, that's brilliant. They should totally do ASMR NPR. Good evening.
It already is.
Well, it's true. That's basically NPR. Really is that already? It's true.
It's the first ASMR.
Yeah,
it's 30 years ago.
It's public ASMR radio. I need a boom guy. Yeah, who could with exactly a 6-foot boom, so they can constantly be, you know, COVID safe the entire time. All right.
And knocking over the monitor.
I got to get out of here because I'm losing the thread. Not only am I losing the thread, I'm losing the will. I am getting hungry, and the more hungry I get, the more likely I am to, you know, go full McKay on people or knock something over and regret it. Alan, once again, thank you very much. Do you want anyone to? Should people bug you? Should people look at you on Twitter or anything? Or is there anything you want to point them anywhere?
I don't do a lot. Yeah. No? I mean, you know, go. Read the reviews at PC Per.
Yeah, go do the PC Per thing. Yeah,
my old stomping ground.
Let me put the link back in. I'm doing it right now. I'm gonna get a little softer now because I'm moving away from the microphone.
Yeah, those guys still review stuff. You know,
and
they do their best.
All right, we got that. I'm gonna copy this again, if I can. Oh my God, it's so far away. Okay, copy. I think I'm copying and pasting the right thing. Hopefully this is not Baz's report card or something. If it is, don't read it. Okay, here we go. I'm pasting.
The report card.
A look inside. Oh, great. Well, I copied.
Well, that was just that article I wrote.
I copied the title. It's great.
That was the stuff we talked about at the beginning with the how they do all their testing.
Let me try this again. But while you're there, go check out everything, because Alan was there for years offering his expertise for way too little. It's not copying that link. What the? Oh. What is the other thing?
Somewhere on that site, there's also an article of when I went through the chip fab when I was trying to escape.
Is that where you
wafer.
got the? Did you get it? Is that where you got the? Didn't you
the
get
wafer?
Like, that's where you got the wafer from? The wafer.
I didn't get it directly from. Like, I didn't walk out with it.
Which would have been really funny, frankly.
It would have been.
That's the sort of thing I would try to do.
Hey, if they would have let me,
I know that Neil deGrasse Tyson tried to leave with his costume on Stargate. Stargate.
You know what? Well, that's just going to get us off on a tangent. But I was like, of all the things for me to ask you, I was kind of curious, like how that scene went, and like because they seemed completely natural, like actors.
Yeah, because that's them. It's all them.
No, I get it, but that was the most natural I have seen of any walk-on anything anywhere.
I think both of them.
You know
are
what I mean?
showmen.
It just kind of struck me like after watching that scene, knowing that those are just like regular science guys. Now I know Bill Nye has had a bunch of TV series time at that point,
Right.
but Tyson wasn't on a lot of stuff at that point.
I think he'd done an awful lot of like talks and also
he does talks,
but he's just kind of a they're both kind of showmen. You know what I mean? They're both. I'm gonna move my mic closer.
Yeah. I just would have. Well, but the thing was, I wasn't even getting that either. It was just like, they were legit just acting like regular scientists would at like a convention.
To
you know
be
what I mean?
fair,
like it was just.
It was one of those shows that took a while to shoot that episode. Like there was a lot going on, so we had a lot of sort of downtime while they lit and set things up, and there were a lot of background performers and stuff. So there's a lot going on, and so by the time we were shooting together, it was pretty like I think they felt pretty comfortable. I felt pretty comfortable. They'd watched me screw up many a line at that point, so they weren't too worried about it. Dave Foley was there too. So Dave is just, I mean, talk about a showman. That guy's just freaking hilarious. So I think the pressure was kind of off them. They never had to say too much stuff in a long,
right.
I think it was sort of, look, Garrow is a freaking genius. Like Garrow, first off, coming up with the idea of doing that. And then I think he's very good at writing to people's strengths. You know what I mean? Like I think McKay, the McKay episodes that Garrow wrote were fantastic because he knew me really well. He knew, what's the best way to play it. How much of the Hewlett you want in the episode. So
it really was an enjoyable thing though, because that's when the series overlaps with reality, right?
Yeah.
When you get those overlaps and like, oh shit, I know those guys, right?
Well,
just like, oh.
And that's to me, that's the brilliance of Stargate though, is that it's set in the now. Whereas all these other science fictions, which is just is automatically a disconnect because you're like, oh, in a future, somewhere in the future,
right? Right.
Whereas this is like,
suspend your disbelief and all that stuff. Yeah.
This is like we would come in from a mission and go, hey, have you seen the latest Ted Lasso stuff? You know what I mean? Like we've been watching that,
right.
And I think that was, to me, that was always the appeal to me. That's why I love Doctor Who, was because, it's like, oh, they're battling aliens on Earth right now, even though he's a Time Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're these were concerns. Now, admittedly, when I was watching it was like the 1960s and everything looked futuristic. But it was definitely, that's what I loved about it, was that for some reason it makes it feel almost more real somehow if it relates more to the world that if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not so far removed sci-fi, right? It's like it's like that's actually going on. Oh wait, yeah.
I mean, that said, there's nothing that I love more than a really well thought out, created world. You know what I mean? Like,
oh sure.
So there's some brilliant, but I find those more on books than. Well, I mean, I guess science. I mean, I suppose like Star Wars, but that's more like sci-fi fantasy than it is, science fiction.
Yep.
And also, I mean, we were talking about this the other day. I can't remember who I was talking with. I was talking about Star Trek. With Star Trek, there's so much lore now. There's so much written and so much attention paid to, when things happened and what things happened and logically working all this stuff out. I'd be terrified to write like a Star Trek or direct a Star Trek episode, like because
they still screw it up.
Yeah, that's it. Like we screwed it up all the time, and it wasn't until that we were in like HD that people realized that the sets wobbled as we walked, or that during the story. My favorite one, absolute favorite gaffe in Atlantis was during either the eye or the storm. When the storm actually hits, there's like a wide shot and the trees are going crazy and the wind's blowing and the trees are going crazy because you can see the grip standing there shaking the tree. And it's just way in the background. So for like when we were standard definition, which most television was, you wouldn't see it. But as soon as you go HD, it's like, no, I can see the man's butt crack as he's trying to shake the tree, for take 50 until Hewlett, get your lines right. You know what I mean? So
that's great.
All right. As always, you've got me talking, and it's never hard.
Yeah, we got to go.
It's always easier to get me started than it is to get me stopped. So everybody, thank you very, very much. Alan especially. Go check him out on PC Perspectives. He's written some amazing stuff, and
I'm not there anymore.
He's not there now. No, now you have to go. Now you basically, if you got a problem with an SSD from Intel, he's the guy to talk to, basically. Right?
I guess.
And that's right. And Jonathan MLH says, and buy Intel SDs.
Nah.
I'm shilling for you.
Okay, if you want to shill, that's fine. I try not to shill.
Well, look, it's just I guess we appreciate that Intel isn't shutting you down from doing this stuff, I suppose. So, Modified says, "Thank you, Tech Banditry. Always love chilling. Have a great day and enjoy your meal, David." Thank you, Modified. I don't know whether I'll stream the process of pulling it all apart for her, and reboxing it. I guess that I don't think that's gonna be that exciting for people. But you know what? If I'm doing it tomorrow, I'll give it a go. Although I think I have friends coming over tomorrow morning, so I might not be able to do that. We'll see. But I am doing Tech Talk tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Barnacles again. He's always fun. Alan, you've got to join us one day on that because it's just insane, random Tech Talk stuff. So
you know what? I don't think I've caught his show ever, so I'll make it a point to catch.
Oh, dude, check out Tech. Yeah, Tech Talk's kind of fun. I mean, his Twitch stuff is a lot more raunchy. The British in me gets nervous sometimes, but
oh boy.
But the Tech Talk gets naughty enough at times that I can I can blush and move on. You know what I mean? But he's great. He's fantastic. He used to work at Microsoft. He's got some wicked sort of perspectives on stuff. And Ox is just fantastic. He's just again building PCs all the time. Works for Puget Systems. It's great fun. All right. It's too bad that Think Noodles couldn't join us, but I'll keep her posted and I'll make her watch the video and then she can critique it from there. And then we'll get to critique her. I'll get her to video in and I don't know, we'll just have a chat while she's building the PC. We can hear her screaming in the background, stuff like that. All right. Thanks again, Alan.
Yep. See you, David.
Talk soon. It's so weird holding the mic like this. It's that right. Okay, so I guess I should say. Oh, wait a second. Baz isn't streaming, is he? No, he's not because he's having dinner with us. Okay. So until we geek again, I will say a cheerio and huzzah! And then I'll hit the button and we'll stop. Thank you so much. I know this was not a terribly, action-packed adventure, but it was really fun for me, and I think it's going to be really fun for Think Noodles and potentially other bandits going forward to just have a sense of how this stuff all comes together. So thank you, Wonder Pup. Talk to you soon. Huzzah!